and I'll get all worked up over it. And I'll be checking to see if they responded and shit. I'm like, I cannot fucking do this anymore. So I changed my name to DiMattia's Food Fight. Now I just post food reviews on there. So
wait, is that what was going on? You were getting like
I was getting too worked up. And then during the COVID lockdown, I was all political up, man. I was fucking just ripping into Trump all the time.
All right, let's talk.
Not knowing what I'm talking about, getting into it with friends, friends blocking me and shit.
Yeah. Then, so wait, when the lockdown stuff happened,
when the lockdown stuff happened, I was home for 4 months from work.
You didn't? Yeah, but you went outside.
I had like a routine where I would jog, I would go home and make dinner, and I watched the press conference every fucking day because it was pure entertainment. Watching
like the DC press conference?
Trump's press conference during the lockdown, yeah. But then I would get on Facebook and we'd be going back and forth. There was so many people just going back and forth about politics and stuff like that and the COVID. And I just dove headfirst in.
Oh, did you?
Speaking shit I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Just random bullshit. I would go fact check it. I would go on Google and look like, what's this guy talking about? Not realizing that I'm so out of my wheelhouse when it came to politics. That's when I started to shut up. I stopped talking politics on Facebook and started learning about it. So at least now
you were never interested in it.
Not really. No, I wasn't educated in it. To say I wasn't interested in it would be wrong because I would follow a little bit, but I didn't understand it.
So can I make an assumption that you're Italian?
I'm Italian.
What gave it away?
What do you make that assumption?
I'm just making it.
Mr. DiMattia.
What a lucky guess, Dan.
I was born with blonde hair too. The rest of my family black hair. My brother reminds me of James Gandolfini.
Oh, really?
And then you have me, fucking blonde named Brian.
Yeah, the Aryan kid. Who's German in your family?
So I'm gonna do one of those DNA things.
The DNA, the 21 of me.
Around here, Irish and Italian were very into politics.
Okay.
So I just another assumption I'm making is that you would have known about that probably because it was passed down from generation to like pay attention to it.
Right. And my family wasn't big in politics. There wasn't really a discussion a lot at family events, stuff like that. I never even thought about that. There really wasn't conversation about politics any time at my family events.
See, like on my mother's side of the family, it was like you can't talk about religion and politics, but if you're going to vote, you have to vote Democrat.
Oh, really? I was never really brought up that way. I'm a registered Democrat. I just never changed to independent. I feel like I'm in the middle.
But you can't vote in the primary.
How stupid is that?
It's dumb. It's really fucking dumb.
It doesn't make any sense.
No, you should be able to vote for whoever you want in the primary.
That needs to get changed.
Yeah, they're trying.
That's insane to me.
Okay, are we going, Dan?
Oh yeah, we've been.
I felt like we've been going.
Oh, yeah, I was in mode right there.
Yeah, you were going well. Brian DiMattia, do you want to do it now? Are you capable of doing it now?
Well, are we gonna? I mean, introduce him. Welcome to the show.
Okay.
And if we're gonna get into the pizza here, well,
So I feel like Dan's got something secret that he's waiting on, and he wants to build the tension.
Funny story. I was watching a live when I wasn't here, and I heard just this raucous laughter.
You can turn your mic up too.
Am I? Well, yeah, I probably should a little bit. I feel like I'm yelling too. So
there you go.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Dan's not here, and everybody's. And Michael's like, oh, I bet we'll have a good show tonight too, and everybody's like, ha ha ha, this is great. Dan's not here, so thanks, guys.
Is that what happened on the live stream that we did?
Oh yeah, it's in the beginning. So everybody
I didn't say that though, right?
How long you been sitting on that for?
He's been stewing on it for like 3 weeks.
I'm not one to hold a grudge over here.
No, he's just. Yeah. Did you wait? I didn't say shit.
It was terrible, Dan. We missed you so bad.
I love when people use the phrase "stewing on it." I love it. I say it too. It fucking cracks me up.
Mark didn't on it for a week. Mark just said Dan's not here today, and Micah goes, "Good. We'll have a good show tonight." And then Chris and Mark were kind of like, "Ugh."
And then, but then he's so like halfway through it, I'm like, Dan's not here, and I'm falling apart. And
he did a terrible job.
I fake cried.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah. I guess he didn't watch the live stream.
And we talked about how much we miss you and how good you are at your job.
It's hard to do. Like, so I was like,
you're doing a good job so far.
He's
I have
phenomenal.
No idea what you're doing, but you're doing it.
Dude, he's switching. He's calling up videos. He's doing. If you listen to Rogan, right? He's Jamie.
Yeah.
But we let him talk because he's funny as fuck.
I have Jamie's down on the stacks. I don't do nothing yet. I haven't taken over any responsibility yet for my podcast.
Oh no!
I just started doing some artwork the other day on canvas because they're going to Africa.
Oh, they leave today though, don't they?
And I'm like, Bill, I want to start making some money on the podcast. He goes, you got to do some work for that. I'm like, all right.
We're looking into that. We're looking into see if we can monetize and just figure out how to do it because we get we get interesting people on. Like we get
I get the sponsors for the podcast.
We don't know how to do that.
That's what I do. I just go out and You know, Dino's.
I mean, I do.
Dino's in the Wyoming Valley Mall.
Yeah.
He's one of my main sponsors for the podcast. So that's why I go there. And he got new pizza. So I do a review on new pizza.
Do you want to try a piece?
Oh, I already had 3 cuts, guys. You guys knock yourselves in.
You already
on the way here?
Yeah. Well,
hold on. Before you
I did my
box.
review.
Right, do you want to do it now?
I did the review in the car before I came here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
Wait, okay, go ahead, Dan.
Oh,
Sorry.
Dan's.
So we're gonna try out it's just a stupid new little segment. It's called Pizza Fight.
Don't call it stupid.
Are we playing a game?
Pizza fight?
Well, you know, as our guest brought us some pizza here.
I fucked up the name of your show with Bill's.
Oh, that's what.
He called it Pizza Fight.
Oh, I watched an episode the other night, and I noticed that my food fight sign wasn't in the background anymore. And I'm like, did Marky make you take that fucking down? He's like, no. I'm like, why? Why isn't it fuck up in the first place?
I screwed up, dude. I screwed up so bad on that. I was like, this.
What'd you call it again?
Pizza Fight.
That's hysterical. It's not that bad though.
No,
yeah,
it's not horrible.
But you were like really sunk
mistake.
into like this is the name of the show, and you kept saying it, and like Pizza Fight, pizza. We just couldn't pull it. It was just a back.
We're gonna start our own competitive show called Pizza Hugs.
Yeah. Well, so we quickly took the name Pizza. Bill said we could have the name Pizza Fight. It's
nice.
Ours.
Pizza Fight.
Yeah. So we have this kind of connection with this guy that does some music, Khaki Squire. And
what is happening right now?
Oh, I lost Micah on this, so you could fix that while I talk about Khaki Squire. And his,
lost Micah.
I don't have his camera right now. So
get into Marcus.
Yeah, Khaki Squire. He's been doing some songs for us. He did Scranton Summer Blues or whatever it was about the pools closing down.
Oh my god!
I know who this is.
There's another one about
what's behind. You think there's something behind the pools closing down? You think it's conspiracy?
I don't know.
Well,
you think it's a water conspiracy?
Poor management.
Yeah, the city kind of just dropped the ball on it.
Probably poor management.
Yeah.
Probably poor management.
Anyway, so
Biden said that a lot last night.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so Khaki Squire and this guy Jiffy Two Chords who plays guitar got together.
Khaki Squire and Jiffy Two Chords.
Yeah. So
I love this.
This song features Jiffy.
What's the name based off Khaki Squires? What's the real name?
That's the guy's name. That's the guy that does the music.
It sounds like it's a make.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Are you ready for this?
Now
you can watch it on this TV.
Oh, I'm watching.
Or that TV.
All right, I'm going to this one.
You ready, Dan?
Let's see if I could do things.
Let's see if Dan could do things.
Oh.
I like the artwork on it.
Yeah.
Wait, you do the wrong one. Oh, there it is.
Pizza on the table, hot and right. Ready for a battle, gonna be a fight. Pepperoni versus veggie, who's gonna win? Fix it up and let's begin. Cheese so stretchy, pulling really tight. Mushrooms, olives, every little bite.
That's cracking me up.
Deep fish delight. Everyone's got a favorite tonight. What's your favorite kind? Let's yell it out loud.
Pepperoni.
Pizza fight, oh yeah, we're proud. Stuffed or thin or extra soft. This is our pizza boss.
So I'd like to thank Brian DiMattia for coming in from the show Food Fight and joining us on the first time at Pizza Fight.
Welcome to Pizza Fight.
I fucking love that. That is great.
Hold it, fold it, eat it up.
Oh my god, this is like a full-blown song. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you get the song from? Did you make this yourself?
No. The guy sent it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a good listener. You might know his uncle.
Who's his uncle?
Gene King.
The Gene King.
I'll tell you about him later. Are you ready, guys?
Yeah.
Oh no,
it's the solo.
Yeah, this is a solo. Yeah, so
You wrote a solo for this, Brian?
This is fantastic.
yeah,
This is for you.
Some really talented
I love
guys we
this.
got.
This is to make up for the mistake of misgendering your show. Sorry, Brian.
Is our pizza boss.
Very catchy.
It is.
Yeah, they did some good work. All right, so welcome to our first segment of Pizza
That
Fight.
was
Wow.
awesome.
So can we start off this by critiquing
great.
this pizza?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Because you said it's what kind of pizza is it?
It is fried Sicilian pizza.
What is
This is
that
gonna
mean?
make
So
us die.
here's what fried Sicilian pizza is, okay? Fried Sicilian pizza is similar to Old Forge style, but
Okay.
it's not. The dough is going to be cooked a little bit differently. It's going to
Is
be
it crispier?
Yeah, it's crispier. So let's see how it's greasy there. So underneath in the pans, some people make their fried pizza. They literally put the dough on a bed of oil and it fries around and in the
In the pan.
in the pan.
Okay.
Other people put a lot of grease on the pan, put the dough on it.
Okay.
Maybe grease on the dough. So it's not sitting in a
puddle.
Little puddle of oil, right? So people make it a little bit differently. That the pans are big and thick. So it's similar to a Detroit style. Detroit style is becoming really popular in the area. You guys know what Detroit style is?
I thought that was kind of like...
I'm good at it right now. Detroit
I've
style,
already had 3.
Yeah, I already had 3. But the Detroit style is becoming really popular. So they're similar, but they're not as thick. It's thinner. Some fried pizzas like Pizza 11 is going to be thicker than this. Tiberios is going to be a little bit thinner than this. This is a really thick. So Old Forge pizza, it kind of looks like this. If you didn't know it was fried pizza,
it looks like Ravello.
It looks like a little bit like Rivello's, a little bit of Arcaro and Janelle's like that, right? But the crust is super crispy. It might not be crispy now. It's been sitting around for an hour or so. So to be fair, all right,
we doing this?
All right, we try it.
Can I get a middle piece?
But that's the difference.
Oh, he doesn't want a couch.
You don't want an end piece?
No,
it's called an end piece.
It's a corner.
Just trade.
Fucking pizza fight.
Child.
I'll throw it at you.
I don't want to
get the real pizza fight going.
If I'm going to test this out, I need to
go
really
for
know
it.
what.
We got onions on there.
All right, who do you want to go? Who do you want to go do first? You want to go
you first.
You guys had Old Forge pizza, right?
Yeah, of course.
You see how this fried pizza is more fluffier in the inside. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah. Less fluffier, more crispy.
On the bottom.
So that's the difference. Flip it around for Old Forge. Old Forge will be a little thinner and then more fluffier on the inside. Just the way it's baked. Old Forge pizza is a lot less greasy. You see, you know the difference. Good, right?
That's good.
So fried pizza is so good. Right. What do you guys think?
I like the onions in it.
Onions are great. Mm-hmm. Onions make it for sure. You guys like sweet sauce pizza?
I like
hit or miss.
If it's good, it's good.
Yeah, I
don't like when it's too sweet. Yeah. I don't like that.
I understand that. Tiberios makes a really good fried pizza just like this with sweet sauce on it.
My buddy said about blowjobs once. He goes, blowjobs are like pizza. Even when they're bad, they're good.
Some pizza's fucking bad and some blowjobs are fucking bad. You know.
What's the worst pizza? Where's the worst pizza?
The worst pizza?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Style, type, maybe.
I'm not gonna name names, but the worst. There's no bad style of pizza.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no bad style. All pizzas. We are so lucky to have people from not from any PA or near the area always say that there's no good pizza in PA. I don't know what fucking world I don't know where you're living in, but they're like, New Jersey's good. Listen, I had Jersey pizza. It's great. There's great pizzas in Jersey, great pizza in New York. I want to go out to the One Bite Festival in September of New York City. Yeah. I want to go out there. It was poured last year. I want to go out there in September.
Wait, is that the one we're pouring?
Yeah. It's one day. I looked it up. There's like $100 some bucks for a ticket. You get 4 hours to be inside there, and you try all the pizzas out. I definitely have to go. I gotta fucking go.
But do you pay for the pizzas while you're in there?
No, you pay for the ticket to get in, and then you just eat all your pizza you want.
That sounds so.
Yeah. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not enough time to go to all of them though.
Yeah, but imagine the next day.
It'd be amazing.
Like you're holding the toilet. Like
you guys already predicted that you weren't going to hold this pizza down.
Listen, okay. When you said it's kind of like Old Forge style, I was like, okay. You know, because it's not my favorite.
It looks
this tastes like a grown-up version of like Pizza Hut pizza when I was a kid. It's like almost nostalgic.
So Pizza Hut is pan pizza. Mm-hmm. So it's a similar style.
Yeah. It's bringing back very good memories.
Yeah, similar idea.
But it's like a more refined version.
I like that little burnt seam like on the crust.
Nice.
I like that.
Nice.
It's so good.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. I know Angelo.
Where's it from?
So Dino's in the mall. Remember Angelo's in the Viewmont Mall?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How they just closed?
Yeah.
So Angelo, who owned that, so did the Rosarios. So Angelo is part of the, his family owns Dino's in the mall.
Okay.
The Wyoming Valley Mall. So they were just on the podcast a week or so ago too. So the Angelo sold Angelo's. Mm-hmm. Now he's working with his brother Peter and his father. His father's the OG pizza maker in the area. Opened up a lot of pizza places in the area. And just sold them. He opened them up, started them, sold them.
Makes him successful.
City said you can't do that now. You can't do that now. The cost is too much. Back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, you were able to do it more. But now you can't flip them as fast as you used to be able to. Does that make sense?
So how'd you go from like talking shit on the internet to getting really into pizza?
So I went. So
you're like a multi-hyphenate.
It's funny you brought up Pizza Hut because we're going to get to that. So I always liked being on social media, right? So, but I got carried away with all the political bullshit and talking about stuff I didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, I got to stop doing this. Friends are getting mad at me. I'm getting mad at them. It's insane. Yo, go dig in, bro. Dig in. And
try not to eat into the microphone.
So I got away from that, and then I would just post normal stuff, right? This regular normal stuff.
What year is this? Like 2020?
This is going to be 20. So whenever COVID was 21, 22, right? Give or take.
March of 2020.
Okay.
Vaccines were December of 2020.
Okay, so I was just regular social media stuff by then. There's regular posts on Facebook, just scroll and whatever, right? Yeah. Not really know what I'm doing. I moved to Kingston, and I wanted to start doing what happened first? No. I posted a jiu-jitsu video.
Because you do that too, right?
Yeah, I was at a tournament. I posted a jiu-jitsu tournament, a video, 13 seconds long, of just me running out to the mat, shaking the referee's hands, shaking my opponent's hand, referee saying go, and then me and my opponent slapping fists and then going, right? I put on that Reckless on Respect.
Yeah.
It was just boom, boom, boom. It went viral, like almost 2 million views. Made $1,000
Get the fuck out of here.
Because I got into the Reels. I got into the Reels bonus program when it first came out on Facebook a few years ago.
Right.
About 2 years ago. I get introduced in this. I'm like, what the hell is this? I posted maybe a couple Reels. I'm like, what the hell is this? Right. So I was like, what the hell is this? Right. So I got invited into the Reel program. I was like, okay. So I started making content. I was like, I want to start making, there's a Pizza Hut around the corner that isn't open yet. It was the Pizza Hut Express in Kingston. It didn't open yet. It was like taking forever on the news, everything like that. So I lived right next to it. I would go for walks in the morning. I took a picture of it and I posted on my regular Facebook page, and people were interested when they were going to open. They got a little traffic. So I did it again a week later, then 2 weeks later. Then I started getting more updates. I started finding who the owner was, and I got updates from him directly. I started making videos on it. So that was the first. Then that reel went viral. I made $1,000 off of it. So now I'm hooked. Now I'm hooked on making content. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now I'm in. You're going to pay me for this. Now I'm in, right? So I started making more Pizza Hut videos, and by the time they opened, I made my food page. It was called DiMattia's NEPA Food Reviews was the first name of it, and that lasted for a little while. Then I changed it to Food Fight. But when I first made the videos, the Pizza Hut, I had the first stuffed crust pizza from that Pizza Hut when they opened. Like I did like
the very
I was the first customer to walk in.
Okay,
that's funny.
I got the first pizza, and I did a video on that, and it did really well. My friend Ryan he runs the Valley page. He shared that from my regular page on that, and it did really well. But then it wasn't on my food page though. So then I started going back and forth on both pages. Then I finally moved I started getting into the more content into the food page, and then here we are now. It's been almost a year and a half, and DiMattia's Food Fight is up and running. I just passed 7,000 followers, but the engagement on my page is unbelievable.
So like for idiots like us, well, primarily me, I don't understand like the business of it. I don't understand like the social media, like how do you make money?
So,
and I know that like Facebook probably anybody watching this is like, you're fucking stupid.
No. So Facebook in general, just going on there in general, like they have bonus programs now. YouTube pays people.
And you have to like sign up for them?
You have to just go into professional mode, and you give them your banking, you give them information, you give them.
That's what makes me nervous.
I'll give them my PayPal account. You know what I mean?
You can do that?
I get paid through PayPal.
Okay.
So PayPal pays you. PayPal's pretty good with their security and protection, all that kind of stuff. So they pay me through PayPal. I don't make a lot, man. Let me tell you what. I just had a video.
You made $2,000.
I finally. Well, that was then though. They're not giving bonuses like that anymore. So like for example, I made $250 last month posting on my regular page. Just my posting on my regular profile page. I get the bonus program for just posts, pictures, whatever. Right. It seemed like for a little while it was $1 for every 1,000 reach. And then it changed. It went to $0.25 for every $1 reach. So I was like, I don't fucking understand what's going on. I try to watch videos on YouTube and get educated on it, but
they change it all the time.
And then they do. So I made $250, but then we got paid $168. So I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
Government.
I would
government
never.
Happened.
That was before. That's all pre-tax. They don't take taxes out of it.
So why would they? So they're like, oh, we're gonna take. I don't know what happened. Your money.
Well, here's the thing. I got paid more for 1 month when it said 136. I got 255. Then the other month was 255. I got paid 168. I'm going to get paid this month. I don't fucking know what it is. But the point I'm trying to make is the engagement on my regular profile is like, I don't know, impressions are like 50,000, 60,000 impressions. Not too bad, right? On my food page, it's 1 million. Really? And I make $0 on that because I'm not in the bonus program. So I'm looking to monetize my food page outside of Facebook as far as advertising goes, as far as my podcast goes. So my podcast, my advertisers, I'm rolling out a new thing with the advertisers to get new sponsors. There'll be different packages. If you just want to be a sponsor for the podcast, that's great. You get mentioned on this podcast, all that stuff comes with it. But then if you want to pay a little bit more, you'll be featured on the food page. And those ads, Facebook charges $10 for every 10,000 reach. I'm going to charge you $5 for 10,000 reach. Half of what Facebook pays. Give or take. Those numbers aren't correct, but
you can do that?
That's the idea. Well, yeah, because they'll advertise directly on my page.
I'm
not going to target an audience for them. My audience will be their target. So I posted.
That's brilliant.
I posted a picture of Dino's pizza. The father Peter made it for me. It was perfect. It was just like you picked up New York style pizza, and it didn't even move. It was unbelievable, right? Super viral. 200,000 people saw it. Just a picture of the pizza, me and the pizza. So think about what that did for that business. People see that, now they're going to go in there and get that pizza. That's what I'm trying to sell, but it has to stay organic though. I'm not going to be paid to do food reviews. I'll never, ever get paid. If somebody called me and said, hey, I'll pay you $1,000 to come do a food review for me. Well, then I'm under obligation to say it's good. I'm not going to lie about my food reviews.
Don't you think somebody do you think that somebody who would call to be willing to offer you money for that would are they assuming that you're going to do a good review? People have
reached out to me to come up, I'll buy you lunch. I go there and they buy me lunch, and so far it's always been good. Most food is fucking good. You know what I mean?
Well, and if they know you're coming to do a review, they're going to be on top of it.
Yeah, most food is good. But I've been to places, they invite me up, I go there, eat, they give me a bill. I'm not looking for free food, but you literally invited me up here to try your food out and you're giving me a bill. Yeah, I'm not going to post a review. That's what it comes down to.
Do they get mad about that?
No, they just don't. No one ever reached out to me about it.
That's the thing. Like, you don't want to be paid for a review because then it kind of skews your ability to be honest.
It compromises.
But also too, exactly. It's like you invited me up.
You invited me up here. You invited me up here. I'm assuming you're buying me lunch. You shouldn't have
to pay to give them free advertising.
You asked me to come here.
Right.
I didn't come here on my own free will. No, it's not that big of a deal. Again, I'm not looking for free food, but if I invited somebody to my restaurant, a food critic, I'm not going to give them a bill. I'm going to make them feel at home, and that didn't make me feel like at home. So it's all good.
So have you always loved food?
I worked in the restaurant business since I was 16 years old.
But did you do that just because it was a job?
It was a job, but it was I got hooked. You get hooked in the restaurant business. You get hooked on the money, serving, bartending, thousands of dollars all the time. You know what I mean? Cash all the time. But then bad habits too. Picked all the bad habits there too. But the restaurant,
well, it is a psycho industry.
I always like to cook. It is a psycho industry.
My wife works in it.
I always like to cook. So I was going to go to Culinary. I was going to go to Votech when I was in high school. I was going to go to Votech my freshman year, my 10th grade year, to go to Culinary, and then I was going to go to culinary school. Well, I failed my freshman year, and I had to repeat. And then I started working in the restaurant business more, and I realized that I didn't want to be a chef anymore. But I still like the restaurant. I like the management part of it. I like the front of the house part of it. So that's what I did for a long time.
So you ran front of house, make sure everybody's happy.
I worked in the restaurant for over 20 years. I ran the server staff at Marvel. I worked at remember Marvelous Mugs and Music?
Yeah.
I worked there for a fucking decade, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't a manager at the end, but I ran the staff.
The one behind
I made more money being I made more money being a server and a bartender. But I was going to school too. I went to college when I was later, and I went to college when I was about 24.
Me too.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer.
I took 5 years off.
I was a late bloomer with school, and then I jerked around the last couple of years. I should have did a little bit better, or I should have dropped out. I don't know which one would have been better, but I did graduate from Penn State. I was just on drugs my last year of college.
What kind of drugs?
Oh, fucking Vicodins, painkillers, Xanax.
Oh, really?
Kind of stuff. Yeah.
How'd you get hooked? How'd you come? Wait, so it's usually
that's a longer story. You want to stay on the food for a minute?
It's usually a story where like, oh, I got hurt and my doctor gave me this shit.
Oh no, I just fucking loved them. That's it.
They were delicious.
They were so #delicious. That's what they were. I just loved them. People say, well, you must have had a bad childhood. No, I had a good childhood. You know, my father got sick when I was younger, but with depression and stuff like that. So he wasn't around when I was older, but that's not why I was doing drugs.
What would be your day? Because I haven't drank since 2010.
What would be my?
Yeah, like when you wake up, you'd be like, all right, here's a Xanax.
It honestly depends.
One for you, one for me.
It honestly depends on what phase of drugs I was doing at the time.
Oh, so it was never all at the same time.
It was always Xanax.
Just
Xanax prescribed to me in my early.
For anxiety?
It was so easy to get to. Doc, I got a little anxiety. No problem. Here you go.
Yeah. So
Doc, I'm eating more. I'm taking more than my prescribed dose. Oh, no problem. Here you go.
Yep.
Not okay. Maybe we should go see a doctor. Maybe we should go see a psychiatrist or something.
Yeah.
Let's go talk about it. No, here's all right. Here's 5 milligrams. So I knew I could play that game.
You were doing 5 milligrams Xanax?
Oh, no. I'm just saying I knew I could get,
okay.
I meant 0.5, right? But I was like, so I knew if I go to my doctor every once in a while, he'll give me more. So I went there to one day. I'm like, I'll take a little bit more. He goes, I'll just give you Xanny bars. I'm like, no, I don't need those. I don't need those just yet. Why don't you just give me 1 milligram per day? What's with the 3? I don't need the 2 milligrams yet. No way that 3 months from now, I'd be like, hey, doc, I need my 2 milligram Xanax now.
You were pacing yourself like a responsible user.
I was playing
the long game.
Because not to mention the other Klonopins I was buying on the streets.
They're phenomenal.
I used to snort those in high school.
Oh, I just took them.
I didn't know what they were, right? I took them too. I used to black out for days.
Did you ever drink on them?
Yes.
Oh, it's
my friends told me once that I chugged a half bottle.
I'm over here like, I ate too much Pizza Hut when I was in high school.
My friends told me to this day, they still remember it when we were like 16 or 17. They told me I chugged a half bottle of vodka in the backseat of the car once when I was on Klonopins. I have no idea.
Dude, when I
black out for days.
I was in a band.
Disgusting.
And I was terrified of being on stage. On our first show, I took like 3 Klonopins.
You had to be drooling on yourself.
And drank. It was like
Did you make it to stage?
They didn't kick in until we got off, and then I was a fucking wreck. I was.
I can feel that right now.
It's
my
terrible.
stomach's trying to turn.
But you feel like nothing can hurt you.
No, Klonopin and Xanax are fucking animals. They're animals.
The Klonopin is like one of the hardest things to get off physically.
Xanax is the worst thing in the world on rehab, but that was.
Is it?
Oh man, I was on detox meds for 3 weeks. I had to sleep for 3 weeks in rehab.
So how long were you take? Did you have to go to rehab?
I took Xanax for 10 years, man.
For a decade?
Probably longer than that.
Whoa.
10 years. You ever see the movie on Netflix called Xanax?
No.
You got to watch it. True stories.
I thought it was you.
You gotta watch. You gotta watch true stories about these people that were on Xanax forever. I'm not gonna get into it too much because I want you guys to watch it.
Yeah.
But there was one guy who was so fucking sick. They took him off Xanax, right?
Yeah.
Then he developed all these kind of problems, and they sent him on 100 different doctors and different procedures, right? Blah 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 blah. Not one doctor thought to themselves, maybe it's because we took him off Xanax for fucking the last 20 years. Maybe that's the problem.
That he was on it for.
He was going through. I stopped taking Xanax. I got out of rehab 9 years ago. Last week it was 9 years. 9 years ago. Thank you. 9 years ago, and I still go through post-acute withdrawal from Xanax. I believe it. I never until the day I stopped taking Xanax. Every time at nighttime when I get tired, my legs get my whole body gets really uncomfortable. My legs get a little jittery. I have to go lay down in bed and go to sleep. Then I'm fine. I can't sit in the recliner no more. That's why I can't travel late. Like if we're driving home from wherever, it's midnight, it's not going to be a good ride for me. Especially if we stop and eat. I don't know what it is. My body gets in relaxation mode. I get real uncomfortable and I have to go to sleep. It only happened the day I got home from rehab is when it started happening and it has never stopped.
Do you think that has something to do with like a circadian rhythm or something? Maybe you knocked it out of whack.
No, I think it's the fucking Xanax.
You think you just had a physical dependency on it for so long?
That my body's so. Then I hear all these other stories from these people watching that documentary and then reading more and more and more about it. And I'm just lucky I'm fucking off them because the last thing I had was anxiety when I had those things, man. All I wanted to do was eat them all the time, and then I would put. And then I had my phase where I was eating painkillers all the time, Vicodin. I was eating
both
30
at the same time.
Oh yeah, the Xanax was always there. See, in my head, the Xanax I had a prescription for. I always had them.
Oh, the doctor.
I never ate too many of them, where I would run out. Well, I would run out towards the end of the month, and I'd be calling CVS. Could you please fill these for me? Oh yeah, I got you. No problem.
Yeah.
And then remember the 1 month they gave me 2 subscriptions in 1 month. I was like, oh, they fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But
that was a good month.
But it turned out to be a horrible. You know why? Because I ate too many of them, and then I went for a refill. They're like, we gave you a double last month. I'm saying we can't give you a bottle this month.
Oh no!
I'm like, no. What am I going to do? So now I'm calling everybody.
I got to go suck dick for Xanax.
I'm offering. That would be cheaper. That would have fucking been cheaper. When a drug addict calls you and I need fucking Xanax right now, but the price goes up.
Because they know you're desperate.
They know how desperate you are.
And I'll pay it too.
Yeah.
I'll pay it too.
So how'd you jump to the painkillers?
So I was working at a restaurant, 2008, 2009. I was getting ready to go to my senior year of college. I was
at Penn State.
At Penn State, I was 27 years old, give or take. Best shape of my life. I was like 10% body fat. I spent the whole last year getting in great shape, but it wasn't fun. I was addicted to it because I have addicted personality.
Yeah.
I was addicted to working out. I wasn't going out. I was under eating. Was too much exercising going on. So I didn't have a healthy balance with that. So I was prime for a new hobby. You know what I mean? Because I was waiting for the devil to put something else in my hand, and so I'm at work.
Have you heard of OxyContin?
Well, we're getting that story.
Oh, okay. All right.
That story. So we're going. I'm working, and I'm serving, and somebody offered me, goes, hey, you want any hots? I'm like, what do you mean by hots? Oh, that's what they call them, the Vicodins. Oh, we call them hots because they look like the plates. I'm like, all right, I'll have a couple. So I used to take them in high school. My friends used to bring Vicodins and Darvocets and shit like that. I used to take, they make me feel great. I used to love smoking cigarettes when I was high on Vicodins. I just got like this sensation over my body, wishing I was in my chair right now, sinking into and smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
I quit smoking cigarettes 3 years ago. So, but I still get that. I want that Newport or that Marlboro 72. You know, the little guys, the little guys, they're really good. But so somebody asked if I wanted to. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I took 2 while I worked, and the shift was great. And then I came back the next day and didn't think anything of it. Did it again on the weekend, and then again and again and again. And then I bought more, and I found out who was selling them at the place. So I started buying them out for her, and I started taking them after work, then in the mornings, then in the afternoon, the afternoons, and then, before work, and then after work, and then wake up. And then the one morning I woke up and I didn't have any left. I didn't think about it. I started feeling sick. I was like, I feel like shit. I'm going to get a cold, right? So I call off work. I call my one friend. I'm like, I'm sick. I'm not coming to work today. He's like, what are you sick from? I'm like, I have a cold because you're eating those fucking pills you're eating. Oh. I'm like, well, I'm not. I stopped eating them like a day or two ago. He goes, that's why you're fucking sick, because you've been taking them for fucking weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, if you're taking 1 a day, you would have been fine. But then you're taking 2, 3, 4, 10.
Yeah.
I go, what do you mean? He goes, you're dope sick. I go, I'm not doing dope, right? I had no fucking idea. So I look it up. I'm like, fuck, he's right. So my solution wasn't to be like, okay, I'll just get over it and never do it again. Let me get as many as I can so I never get sick again.
Okay.
Not realizing that I'm going to need more and more and more eventually. It got to the point where I was eating 30 Vicodins a day.
Whoa.
30?
Because I wouldn't go near an Oxycontin, because when I was younger, we would do Oxycontin every once in a while. Dude, we would do Oxycontin, line of Oxycontin, line of Coke. How I'm here to tell that story? Well, not together. We were gentlemen. One at a time.
No, I mean,
I didn't mix it together.
No, I thought you mixed it. I thought you mixed Oxys with Coke.
No, we kept
They're
the
not
lines.
monsters.
The lines were next. The lines were next to each other. They were not monsters.
So 2 sniffs,
like an adult.
Disgusting, man. I used to
what would be first? Coke or the Oxys?
The Coke.
Coke goes first?
Depends. Sometimes up and down. Sometimes you would do the Oxy for a little bit, then do the Coke. It was disgusting. I've only experienced that literally twice. I can picture myself in the room right now.
Yeah, I used to
picture myself.
I used to do that to stay up later. My
friend telling me that I'm as white as this napkin. I'm like, I'm good. Right.
I don't need to do this no more.
So I had I ate an 80 milligram Oxycontin once, thinking it was a 20. I was sick for 3 days. You ever eat food and get sick from food and never want to go near that food again?
Yeah. I
got sick from barbecue ribs back in the day. I got mono for like 3 months. I didn't eat barbecue sauce or ribs for a decade. KFC I got sick from. I didn't go near KFC for over a decade.
Well, you should still not go to a KFC.
I have to do a KFC chicken sandwich face off versus like Chick-fil-A. I'm doing my fast food wars now. Ooh. People are giving me shit on here, and that's great. It's God's interest. Some guy called me. Some guy goes to me. He goes, real quick detour. He goes, he say this morning. He was like, boy, not like a grown man doing reviews on shit we eat all the time. How lame is this? And I write back, I'm like, how lame is it being a grown man coming in here and saying the word lame in the first place?
Yeah.
You know, but the trolls crack me up, man. There's one that gets real personal. It's a fake profile.
Yeah.
It's definitely someone that knows me personally.
You can't let that bother you.
No, it doesn't bother me, but I'm going to find out who it is, though. I'm going to say...
We should start going on there and just coming after your trolls.
There's people I think it is.
Yeah.
So when I'm near them,
Bill.
I'm in their presence, I'm going to say the name and see how they react.
Are you Magnolia fan?
Yeah, so something like that. I have to be looking into their eyes, though. I have to catch them off guard, though.
You can tell.
I got to catch them off guard.
That's how you tell they're lying to you.
If they fucking make a face?
No, I always believe...
I know if they're lying.
I always believe that the truth is in how people react, not how they speak.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying I have to be looking. I need to see their face reactions and how they react.
There's a couple trolls I fuck with, and I'm like,
oh yeah, I fuck with all my trolls.
I know. I think
this guy gets real personal though. This guy goes to me the other day. He's like, he goes, maybe he's put the fucking food down and you'll start winning some jiu-jitsu matches.
Oh,
fuck you, motherfucker.
He's that guy.
He's that kind of guy. We said the other day, because I made the video about wearing the Burger
What if he's like, who's your best friend? Do you have a best friend?
There's no way it's him.
You'd be the perfect suspect.
Oh, man.
Perfect suspect. All right, 80 milligrams.
80 milligram Oxycontin. I was sick for 3 days. All right. So I never went near another Oxycontin again because I knew I had that association with it. But I'll take 30 Vicodins. Do you know how long it takes to eat 30 Vicodins?
I don't know.
It takes a long time. You got to chew them up.
You chew up 30 of them at a time?
I was a sick motherfucker, man. I was getting 30 Vicodins just not to be sick. I wasn't even getting off on them. That was the worst part about it.
That was just to maintain normalcy.
Me not to have to go to the fucking bathroom and have the chills and shit.
Yeah.
It was right before I got sober. We got tickets to the the Comcast box down at, I think it's the Spectrum down at Philly.
Okay.
And Muse was playing. I don't know if you know the band Muse.
Yeah.
I'm a big Muse fan. So me and my buddy who was going to be a doctor, he's now a cardiologist, if that makes any fucking sense of the story afterwards.
Yes.
So we go down there, we drink. Ironically, we came at two different times. He parked right next to me in the parking lot. And I'm walking. I gotta go stay at a hotel. I have to be at a meeting in Wilkes-Barre at 9 a.m. Right, so I have to get up early. I know I'm going to be hungover, and I got to shoot up the turnpike
by at least 6 a.m. You got to get up.
Yep.
At least no later than 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So he hands me a Diet Pepsi with the cap off, and I'm so drunk. He goes, here, drink this all week. You'll have more fun. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. Put it in my car. Didn't think anything of it. Go to the hotel, sleep, wake up in the morning, feel like a cat took a shit in my mouth. I feel terrible, right?
You drink anything, even an open can.
I get in the fucking car. I'm on the turnpike, and I'm like, I have no water. I have nothing. I got to drink something. I start slamming this Diet Pepsi. I'm like 9/10 of the way down. I'm about hitting Allentown, and I'm like, uh-oh, what the fuck is happening, right? So I'm frantically calling my friend because I dawned on me. I'm like, he gave me this.
Yeah.
What is in it?
I called him for like 5 minutes, and I knew that he had to work rounds in the ER in that morning, right? And he finally answers the phone. He's like, what, dude? And all I go is, what's in the fucking Diet Pepsi? And there's a 10-second pause, which I didn't realize was him laughing so hard I couldn't hear him, right? And I'm like, why are you laughing? He's like, where are you? I said, Allentown. He goes, drive as fast as you can to get where you have to go. And I'm like, why? What was in there? He goes, how much did you drink? I go, 9/10. He goes, it was liquid morphine, you fucking idiot.
Why is he calling you an idiot?
Because I don't know. But for the next 10 hours, I vomited like my shoes were gonna fly off. My feet hit the ceiling. I always thought painkillers made the pain go away.
I'd be so mad at him for that.
He's kind of one of those friends. And now he's a cardiologist.
Not a good one.
No, not a good one. Like one time when he was in med school, he came up. He's like, "We're not drinking tonight. We're taking GHB." I was like, "All right, let's just do that." I made it in a lab.
That sounds like
so
fun,
like I always thought that like painkillers just you would just like slink back deeper into the sofa. I didn't know that you would get that sick.
You got to be the right level for the sofa stuff.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, horrible, right?
So how did you get off?
All right, so we're gonna venture into more drugs.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there's a full ride.
Are there more?
Yeah, there's full ride.
Yeah.
Real quick backstory.
Wait, hold on. While you're telling me this, I'm going to eat more of this pizza.
It's so good.
I started smoking pot when I was 15 and then other drugs in high school. I told you the other night I was texting you. Did a lot of acid when I was younger.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about psychedelics.
Oh, it was so much fun. I used to go to, remember when Roger Waters came to the mountain? 98? Yeah. 98, right? Remember it rained?
It was a big lightning storm to go off stage.
Yeah. So they finally started tearing the beer tent down. The riot happened. They came on stage, played Welcome to the Machine. It was fucking unbelievable, right? Well, that was midnight. I took a 10 strip of acid at fucking noon. And all I had left was my shorts, my car keys, and my girlfriend. That's it. Shoes were gone. Shirt was off. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But I wasn't leaving until I heard Roger Waters. And he came on stage and it was fucking fantastic. It was worth the wait. 10 strip of acid I ate in the parking lot.
Him and I over the summer, we went to, what was that?
We went to go up to Peach, and it was it the Australian Pink Floyd show?
The Australian Pink Floyd experience?
They're phenomenal.
It was such a good time, man. He came on and played for about an hour and a half. It was still lightning out.
He said to me, he goes, the last time Pink Floyd here, there was a huge thunderstorm.
Yeah.
It was the mudslide on the stage. Remember my friend Pat was getting carried out on the stretcher. Man,
that was the old stage, though.
Yeah, that was the old stage, man. It was a mess up there. So it was 98. We went there with about 30 people from the town. It was just me, my poor girlfriend at the time, and then
my poor girlfriend.
And then I'm like, we're not leaving. We're not leaving. You want to go home? Go home with them. And she didn't want to go home with them, so I'm like, you had your chance 4 times to leave.
Yeah.
And then my other friend who was on acid with me, my other friend was on acid, but then my one friend who was completely normal but didn't leave. It's on him. He goes, are we leaving? I'm like, no, I'm not leaving until either they throw us out or this motherfucker comes on the stage and plays. And he did. Then I remember we left, took him home. Me and my 2 buddies were driving around, eating mushrooms.
Driving around eating mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, we used to drive around on acid and mushrooms. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, I don't recommend it. The one time my friend AJ was driving and he almost flew into a wall. I'm like, what happened? He goes, the road flipped upside down on me. I'm like, who's driving? Someone else drove. That was so stupid, bro. I distinctly remember we used to remember the Cinemark opened?
Yeah.
First night it was open.
It's like 1999, I think.
First night it opened. Sleepy Hollow was playing. Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
Mhm.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
Christopher Walken.
I saw the Green Mile up there.
Yeah. So first night the Cinemark was open, we got a couple hits of acid. There were gel tabs at the time. Took 2 gel tabs. We used to take the acid. We drove up 502. We smoked, and then we went to the movies. By the time the previews came on, we started to giggle and started to fucking start tripping. And then by what the half an hour the movie's on, full fucking trip. So that movie was fucking insane on acid.
Why would you do
Such a good time.
So
Yeah, it was fucking. It was the first time I ever did it. That became our tradition on acid.
I've taken
We said a lot of Johnny Depp movies on acid.
the biggest doses of mushrooms I've taken were blindfolded. I never saw
You never know how
anything.
much you were? I thought that's a fuck with your mind. That's been interesting.
That's why I wanted to do it.
That's interesting.
He was trying to break something in his head to try. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was
That's
trying
really
to kill my
interesting.
ego.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. Did you ever do that?
Take stuff blindfolded?
Yeah, take acid or mushrooms blindfolded.
No, I don't trust anybody that much.
Well, you got to be like,
I don't know.
you don't even trust yourself that much.
Well, how do I know what I'm taking? I'll know what I'm taking if I'm blindfolded and do it myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you will know what you're taking, won't you?
Oh, you mean be blindfolded the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like be blindfolded and somebody feeds you like.
No. It was,
Oh,
no.
that's what.
It
That's
was
what.
like
That's
an
what I thought
experience
you
thing.
meant.
fucking anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would have been acid. I'm like, why does this taste like a dick?
No, he only chugs Diet Pepsi.
Oh, okay.
Not knowing what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
There's
sorry.
rules to this.
I would never. I don't think I would ever trip now. I don't think I would be able. I don't think I would want to.
Anymore?
Maybe mushrooms. I wouldn't take acid now. Probably laced with fentanyl, probably. You know, I would never buy on the street.
Well, it's a different experience and it's longer.
Mushrooms could be. I used to take mushrooms all the time. The come down was a lot better than acid.
Yeah.
Acid, when you do laying in bed like this, it's time to go away now. You know, you don't know you do. Eat Xanax.
I saw that.
That's what I used to do. I used to eat Xanax all the time. So high school was marijuana all the time. Recreationally, I would take acid on mushrooms, stuff like that. Then we got into like ecstasy when I was like in my early 20s. That's the best drug in the world.
I've done that.
People ask me what's ecstasy like? I'm like, the best way to describe it is God is on your shoulder, whispering in your ear, you're going to have a good time tonight. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And he guides you through a good night. No matter what's happening, you're going to have a good time. That was a fun drug.
First time I took ecstasy was at Penn State.
Was it?
Yeah. It was called Purple Haze and I took 7 of them.
Awesome.
Is that normal?
My cousin came upstairs. I was at a frat house. I was on the 3rd floor. And he comes up. He goes, "Are you okay?" And apparently I had the smile of like Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
You're right. You're
My
all
teeth
right.
were clenched together, and I'm like, "I'm
How good
perfect.
the cigarettes? How good the cigarettes taste?
It tastes like candy."
I used to constantly smoke. I'd have one in my mouth, one lined up ready to go. I light the new one up with the old one. I would smoke and then I would chew on a pacifier.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You chew on a
I
pacifier.
wish I had a fucking time machine to go back in time and hang out with you, or just to
The
witness.
best one I ever ate were the Bart Simpson heads. They were the shapes of Bart Simpson. We used to get shapes, Bart Simpson heads, galaxies, stars, the moon, the sun, Fred Flintstones, Barney Rubbles. That's what these people used to make these fucking things. And they'd be the shape of them.
It's insane. It's insane. Like,
my one friend used to sell them, right? So we're going back. My friend used to sell them. We didn't always hang out with him the nights he had them, but then once in a while he would come in the car with us and hang out with us, right? And he'd be like this, one for you, one for you, one for you. He'd be handing them out, right?
oh my god.
The next day, calls me up every single time. Yo, bro. I'm like, what's up? He goes, I already know what he's gonna say to me. You owe me $100. I'm like, I go, once again, I do not. Because you were literally putting those in my hand.
Yeah.
I think one he put in my mouth
Yeah.
and didn't say once, hey, Bri, $25. Hey, Bri, $25. I would have been, sure, Bri, sure, problem. No problem. And I would pay you today. But we never say it, so I'm not paying you.
That's insane.
No, it's hysterical. And
a
my
bad
friends,
business
my
plan.
friends would do it. My friends would do it for the whole weekend. I used to work. I used to
And
go
what,
out.
give you a bill?
No, I used to party Friday nights, and I would work Saturday and Sunday. But my friends would take ecstasy to Sunday. They'd be rolling for the whole weekend, man.
Whoa.
Do they still? They don't.
No.
still do that.
They outgrew their phase a lot. So they outgrew their phase. I had a city girlfriend at the time, so I was really level. But then I got into the drugs now. But then when I got older, into my 30s, they leveled out. They got families, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So now I was finding my. Not even party phase, my drug addict phase. That's what I was headed into. So we'll catch back up with that. So now I'm eating 30 Vicodins a day. I'm buying pills off everybody I get them off. Thousands of dollars a month I'm spending on pills. My one drug dealer introduced me to Suboxone.
Oh.
And I don't know if he did it on purpose or that was his new drug of choice. So I went home, took a Suboxone, and I was higher than I've ever been high in my life. And I took a much smaller piece the next day, got just as high. So now I was making one little pill last me all week long. But then of course that turned into more. But I got off the Vicodin.
Yeah.
On the Suboxone, which is just one crazy right after the other, you know? And so I got into
what
that.
is it like? So for people who are on Suboxone,
I got lucky. From what I understand, most people don't get high off them. So
you got high off Suboxone?
I got high off them. I got high off them like they were, like I was taking Vicodin for the first time.
I thought it's supposed to wean you off.
It's supposed to, well, blocks the opiates in your body. So if you're on Suboxone for a while and you start taking painkillers or heroin, it won't work. I don't know why it got me high. Some people it gets them high. Some of them it doesn't. I felt like I was a virgin getting high for the first time. That's what it felt like. I could hear the Madonna song in my fucking head. I was like, yes, this is great. It was cheaper. It lasted longer. And I didn't have to worry about getting because they were so easy. They were easy to get. I had a couple of people I get them off. I buy 30 a month. And it got to the point.
You just take one a day?
Well, I got to that point. It got real quick. It got out of hand real quick. I would take a little piece. And a little bit more. But now I'm like, I could take a little piece every day. So I wanted to be high this was new now. I wanted to be high all day long now. And the Suboxone was allowing me to do that. Little sliver here, little sliver there, you know, under my tongue, you know what I mean? And within 15 minutes, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. It's going to taste fantastic. Whole day is going to be great. You know, I get like the feeling in my jaw just talking about it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that with booze when we talk about booze sometimes.
And I just kept on doing that. And then I would take, now I'm up to 1 a day, 1.5 a day. I don't have enough to get high all day long. So I would just wait until after work to get high at nighttime. And my life was literally get up. I stopped going to the gym at this time. So let's go back to the Vicodin real fast. I remember the day I stopped lifting and working out. I was at the gym religiously, even over the drugs. People would be, oh, I have those pills for you. I'll pick them up later on. I'm lifting right now. Focused on that. Then it got to the point where, so like lifting, like working out was on top and socializing with my friends was there and drugs were down the bottom. I would do the drugs when I wasn't doing those two things recreationally, you know what I mean? Like a normal drinker going out on a Friday night, having a couple of drinks and be like, I'm good till next week. That's how it was. But then it slowly started creeping up more and more and more and more, where it was like, I'm taking pills to go to the gym, but now I need them. They're available. I know he's going to hold on to them, but I'm like, fuck it. I left. I remember I put the barbell, I put the dumbbells on the floor and I left. I never went back for years. I went and bought the drugs and that was it. That was a turning point where I officially became full blown fucking drug addict.
And how long did that last for?
Nothing else meant anything more to me. Probably, I crashed out in 2015. So it was a good 3 years where it was, probably longer than that, 09, give or take, all the way to 15. It was, the Suboxone kind of leveled me out in a fucked up way. I was more social. I was out more because it was a more controllable drug, but then that got out of hand. Then the one day I woke up and it stopped working. They stopped getting me high. Now, I was like, fuck. I was in panic mode. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I take 2, I take 3. Nothing. They stopped getting me high. Now I have a Suboxone problem. I'm not getting high off them anymore. I'm eating Xanax like candy, mixing those two as a lethal dose. I've been mixing them for about a year or so. So now I'm going nuts for a month. I'm like, what am I going to do? So I kind of got used to it. I was like, okay, there's nothing else to do right now. I can't take Vicodins. I tried. They weren't working. So I was like, fuck. I was bored. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to live my life like that, you know?
Yeah.
What are you doing at this time?
Like, I am...
He runs a daycare.
Society. Yeah.
Yeah, I run the daycare. I am at this time now...
Bring your kids to Brian's.
Yeah, leading into this point where the Suboxone stopped working, I was working for Darden Restaurants. I was a server. Okay. I was in their management program. I was headed towards management with them. Good job, good salary, everything right there, right? But then... after a month, like I said earlier, you know, God puts stuff in your life when you're ready for it. So does the devil. And he introduced me to Adderall. That's not
we're taking a totally different
we're going from being down.
Yeah.
Now we're going to start speeding up. And this is where I fucking totally ruined my life at that time of my life. So I did them when I was younger. I used to do cocaine when I was younger too, which I didn't do coke a lot because I hated the come down. Yeah. Oh God, I hated the come down. It was awful. It wasn't even worth it half the time. So, but Adderall, there's no come down. You go to bed, wake up the next day feeling great. You know, that depends on that too. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll have Adderall. Took an Adderall at work. I was serving. I was going 155,000 miles an hour. I was like, fucking hey, this is great. So I'm like, I'll take a half of one next time. I took a half of one. I was more functional, but now I was going from sitting still, laying around all the time, to going 100 million miles an hour. At this time too, I had a really successful eBay business. I was selling wrestling figures. Wholesale. They were like, people would back in the day, people would pay, go to Toys R Us, pay $20 for a new one. People were paying $80 for them on eBay.
Yeah, for like the elite figures and stuff.
Because they couldn't find them.
Because they wanted them right. They wanted them right then and there. They didn't want to wait.
Oh, okay.
I was that guy. I was buying them. I'm like, wait, I got to stop this shit. So I flipped it and I started selling them myself. I would go to Toys R Us and they would have like, a pack of 4. Remember the 4 they would release at WrestleMania 30? Yeah. WrestleMania 30, the 4-pack? I love that. He knows what I'm talking about. It's great.
I love it. He's with you.
So when they came out, The Undertaker, they were selling for $90 a figure. I went to Toys R Us in Wilkes-Barre. Is no longer there. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. But I went there. I walked in there and when I turned the corner, they had 5 of each fucking figure. I got a cart. I went back, loaded them all up, paid for them all. It cost me, I don't know, $400-$500. I had them sold by the time I got home. I already had the ads ready. I was so addicted to it. And the Adderall.
How much did you sell all those for?
I made $2,000 off of them, probably. Yeah, probably like $2,000 minus the $500 I paid for them and the minus the fees. But you flipped them for 3 times the price. The Undertakers were $90. So you figure I paid $100 for the Undertaker figures. I made $90 off each of them.
Wow. That was a big year for him too, because I think that was
it was great.
Lost against Brock Lesnar.
Figures were gigantic. What you say about Lesnar?
Well, that was the year that he fought Brock Lesnar, and they broke the streak. He was undefeated at WrestleMania.
Absolute bullshit. But figures
I'm still mad about it.
Figures were so popular then, and I got in. My friend asked me to buy him a Macho Man Randy Savage figure. I didn't know they even made these. I'm a big Ultimate Warrior fan.
Yes.
I remember the Ultimate Warrior.
So I saw the Macho Man figure. I'm like, wow, look at this Warrior figure. So I bought the Warrior figure for myself. Now, again, I have OCD. When it comes to collecting things, I have to complete stuff that I collect. So now I'm fully engulfed into wrestling figures now. But then I got into the business side of it, and I had a great couple years on eBay. But then the more and more I got fucked up. So now I'm getting into the Adderall. So in the beginning, the Adderall was letting me, I was going to flea markets early in the morning, all the time, yard sales, just selling figures, making tons of money. But now my drug habits getting worse and worse now too. Then my other bad habits, because I was up for 4 days, were getting really out of hand. So I was doing a lot of shit I didn't want to do. I was up for days at a time, over and over and over. I would work 3 days at the casino. At this time, I'm a dealer at the casino because I fucked up my job at Red Lobster. I was blacking out all the time. It got really out of hand.
On Adderall?
No, being awake for 3 days.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, being awake for 3 days. I was like, because I would eat them. I would take Adderall until I ran out or my body shut down. And I would do it over and over and over and over again. It was a vicious fucking cycle. So I was doing really good with the eBay business. I was calling up work a lot because I was making more money selling eBay stuff and I didn't want to work anymore. But I fucked all that up. I didn't get fired. I quit, but I was going to get fired regardless. Mm-hmm. And then my mom at the time worked at the casino. She goes, if you want a job as a dealer, we're having dealer school. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So for 6 weeks, I turned off the Adderall addiction during the week. Only did it on the weekends. So I remember I was asking myself, am I really a drug addict? Or can I just turn it off once in a while? Or am I just stubborn or selfish? I don't know what the fucking problem is. Yeah. I also needed a job. And I'm like, I have no money because I'm not working right now. I fucked up my eBay business because I would sell 15, 20 things on one night, get them all boxed up. And then when I came off the Adderall for 3 days, because I was depressed, sleeping,
you forgot to mail
I didn't ship them. Then they want refunds. And I fucked everything up over and over and over again, right? So I got out, I stopped doing that. I used to shoplift a lot. I used to steal DVDs, sell them. I used to sell the digital codes a lot inside them. Not realizing what the digital codes were at the time. I could have a fucking empire of DVD movies right now if I put all of those in the fucking. If I loaded all those up into what's the Vivo, whatever it is.
Yeah, Voodoo.
You put the codes in there, and I didn't know what they were, but I used to sell them individually on eBay. It was against policy, but I would do it over and over and over again. And then I got like shut down for like a couple months, and I was like, all right, I'm fucking everything up here. Yeah. So the Adderall took control of my soul. And I was getting skinnier. I was fucking up. So I used to go on dates with people. Now I wouldn't eat for days. So I would find these girls to go on dates with rating random sites or Facebook, whatever, right? Hook up with them, fool around with them, go on dates. We go on dates. We would eat. Now, my stomach was just primed for a disaster. We eat. I immediately have to go to the bathroom. And I'm in the bathroom for 20 minutes with this girl sitting at the table waiting where the fuck I am. And never.
Are you puking or shitting?
Shitting. Right through me it goes.
Really?
First time eating in 3 days, it would go right through me. Like water. Like water. It was a constant cycle over and over and over. I lost so much weight.
Well, isn't Adderall like meth?
It's fucking meth, bro. It's like one molecule out. I can't say the science of it, but it's meth.
It's what they gave the Germans to invade Poland.
Yeah, they used to give the kamikazes the fucking same shit.
Yeah.
How else are you gonna drive into a fucking to a building? You know what I mean? Fuck, I would have.
For Japan!
I would have. Or there's more Adderall in there. Brrr, fucking fly right into it.
Man, I never would have thought the Adderall would have been the fucking.
It was a fucking
the devil's linchpin.
Well,
because it's more so the way it affected your lifestyle, not so much the drug itself.
It was the lifestyle.
Yeah,
because I was out in public with other people. When I was high on the opiates, I was home.
Yeah,
by myself, not embarrassing myself, not embarrassing my family. I was out in public when the Adderall was a fucking disaster. I looked like shit.
Did anybody know?
Yeah, like, people like comment on like your
people knew
appearance. I mean, obviously,
no one ever said anything at work. I worked at the casino for 9 months before I got in trouble. So that's where we're headed towards. I started looking like shit. I was in shape. You know what I mean? I used to take care of myself, and now I'm just like, I think I'm looking good. I look like I'm trying to get a copy of my mugshot. I'm going to get to in a minute. But I look like trash. I went to rehab 180 pounds. I'm 200. I walk around 200. I was probably 170, 180, went to rehab. So I'm still doing the Adderall. I fucked up my job at Darden. I'm working for the casino now. I'm working night shift. I'm working 6:30 at night to 3 in the morning.
As a dealer.
The golden hours.
As a dealer. So 3-4 nights a week I would work. But I make my schedule about 3 days. Make good money working those 3 days and the eBay stuff a little bit. I got back into it a little bit, but not as much as it was, right? And I'm not getting in trouble. I'm not getting in trouble at work. So then Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, was it New Year's Day? Whatever it was, January 3rd, whatever fucking day it was. I went to Toys R Us in Wilkes-Barre and I drove out of there. I don't know what happened, but I woke up, I hit the lamp factory.
What year is this?
2015.
Okay.
I hit
the lamp factory.
I drove into the lamp factory next to Friendly's down there on 315 and I got a DUI. I didn't know.
What time of day was this?
Oh, it was probably fucking like 9, 10 in the morning. I was up for days, awake for days.
So the lamp factory was open.
Oh no, I don't know how I got that. I don't know how I even got over there. I don't know if I crossed over 315, if I went up and I made a U-turn and came back down.
You just realized that you're in the lamp factory.
I realized I was in the lamp factory when the cops told me I was in the lamp factory.
Did you drive through?
No, I hit the pole on the right side of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when I got out, I'm in the ambulance and the police were like, "What do you told us?"
How hard you hit it?
I don't remember. My car was dented a little bit, but the cops told me, I told them I was drinking and eating Xanax. I'm like, I definitely wasn't drinking because I don't drink.
Yeah.
Really, not right now. Not now anyway, you know. But long story short with that is I went to the hospital, cuffed to the bed. They ran blood tests. They called my mother. My mother's sitting there with me. I'm like, all I had to say to her was, "Ma, I need help."
Yeah.
But no, I told her that I was tired from work.
How old were you at this point?
30, 34, 35.
Okay.
And 33.
Okay.
I was a little younger than that. And I told her I needed help, but I didn't tell her that. So we just did whatever. They went home. I get my car at the impound the next day, and the police left. I had Klonopins in a cellophane in the middle of the cup holder, like 20 of them. They were still there. What kind of police work is that? Thank you for leaving them there. So I immediately ate them. You know what I mean? I immediately ate them and went home, and they didn't think anything of it. Then 2 months later, I got DUI papers in the mail. So now I went through the courts and everything like that. So I'm on ROR bail. I'm going to get ARD. And I'm just trying to make it to the summer and get on ARD so I get put all my shit down. But at the time, you know, I had to figure out a way to stop doing the Suboxone. I don't have a prescription for it. I'm still doing the Suboxone, by the way. And you know, it doesn't do anything for me. But I get real sick if I get real sick if I don't take a little bit of it. I was like, okay, I can eat Xanax while I'm on ARD. They're prescribed to me. So I'll just be a Xanax head for 3 months, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't make it that far. So I decided I went to Mount Airy with my friend. One day I was up for 3-4 days.
The casino.
Yeah, with the Mount Airy. We started drinking tequila shots. I immediately blacked out. I came to a little bit, and I'm like, "Oh, where's Marissa?" She's like, "Oh, she's sleeping it off. When she's awake, she's gonna drive you home. You can no longer come ever again here." I guess I was wandering around. I was blacked out. I don't remember any of it. So they had me sign a piece of paper saying I'll never
Mount
come
Airy.
back. Yeah, Mount Airy. So I signed a piece of paper saying I'll never come back in there, but I was drunk. You can't make me sign a piece of paper. I don't know how to even hold up. I'm still on the blacklist up there.
Are you really?
Yeah, I still can't go in there.
That's hysterical.
We can work on that.
Huh?
We can work on that.
I'd appreciate that. 'Cause I reached out to the head of security.
Yeah.
She used to actually go out with my brother, Leanne Rocco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's dated my brother in high school. I reached out to her a few times. I never got a phone call.
She's the head of
back.
security?
Yeah, I never got a phone call.
I went
back.
to school with her.
I would love to be able to get off the list. She
went to Abington.
never wrote back to me. I'm going back to I was like 15 years old when my brother was going out with her. We're going back. They were in high school still.
Oh, when we're done, remind me. I'll show you a picture. We'll see
That'd
if
be
we're
great
talking about
because
the
I would
same
love
person.
to be able to get back into Mount Airy just to go out there and bullshit a little bit. You know what I mean? It was 9 years ago. I made a mistake.
Yeah. And you're
Let me
clean
back
now.
in. Let me back in. Answer my phone calls.
All right. So 2 months. So 2 months later.
So 2 months later,
He'll bring you a pizza.
yeah. So 2 months later, so now I had the incident. So now I'm in Mount Airy, get kicked out. I'm in Blackout Mountain. I don't remember a lot. I remember being next to my apartment. I remember trying to get into my neighbor's house with my key on my keychain. It was an Eagle key. I tried getting in there with that. It wasn't working. I'm like, why isn't it working? My other neighbors watching me. I grew up in this neighborhood. Long story short here is I tried to get into my neighbor's house.
Yeah, it's not your house.
I was already in her shed in the backyard, taking stuff out of there. I tried to get into her house. I was yelling at 2 kids in the driveway next to a car. The car was there. The kids were not there.
Okay.
The kids were not there.
What time of day was this?
Oh, it was in the middle of the fucking morning.
You were yelling at kids that weren't there.
They weren't there. Maybe they were. They left. They weren't there. It was my other neighbor that watched me grow up in that neighborhood since I was a little kid, watching me go through all this. Thank God she was there because she was a good witness to get me to prove that I wasn't a fucking complete maniac. You know what I mean? I thought it was my place, you know? Well, it turned out to be an old Forest police officer's house. She lives next door to me. And she's the one that arrested me
Really?
at gunpoint because I went to my other neighbor's house who I rent
Your
off
neighbor?
of. Well, yeah, she's my neighbor. And this is why she arrested me at gunpoint because I went to my other neighbors where my best friend Rocco, his mother lived in the corner and I rented off for her, but she let me use the basement to wash my clothes. So I guess I left the basement with a Yankee garbage can with bath mats in it. I was walking up the street after I was already at Kim's house, trying to break into her house in her backyard. I guess I wouldn't put the garbage can down. I kept walking towards them when they had their guns out. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I don't remember any of it. By this dot, I knew her and I was a blackout mode. So I don't know. I would assume I knew her, didn't take it seriously, but they have to take it seriously. And they arrested me. They brought me to the police station and the chief of police asked me what the hell is my fucking problem. I'm like, I knew my whole life. I'm like, I need help. I'm done. I can't live this life anymore. That was it. I was fucking done. Not realizing at the time the trouble that I was in, but I knew at that moment
that you were done.
I was done. I couldn't live that way anymore.
So then where'd you go?
What, to jail for the night?
Yeah.
There for about 30 some hours
Do
in
your
Lackawanna.
farts make noise still?
I wasn't that lucky.
That's prison.
I wasn't that lucky.
Oh, I thought they're the same thing. I thought
No.
jail and prison are the same
No.
thing. All right.
That's not from Family Guy?
I don't know.
Jail's pretty
I think
pedestrian.
I saw that in Family Guy once with they blow smoke out of their ass, something like that.
No, it was the thing is I went to prison and then my farts no longer made noise.
That's great. So I went to jail for the
So you
night.
went Lackawanna?
Went to Lackawanna. I remember getting pushed through there and all that kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. And
This is
I'm in
2015?
Yeah, I'm in the cell upstairs by myself and I finally come to realize.
Are you detoxing? Like, are you going to detox there?
I remember them pushing me around at the courthouse. Literally, the sheriffs are pushing me. Like, what drugs are you going to be on? They're taking my arms and stuff like that. I'm like, stop fucking pushing me. I'm like, I was so scared. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I would have did anything they told me to do. You know what I mean? I was like, no. I'm like, listen, Xanax. I'm going to detox off of Xanax. I don't do heroin. I'm like, that's it, right? So when I went up to jail, I saw the nurse after being there for a little while, and I told them I was on. They gave me something for it. It didn't really matter though. I came when I woke up the next morning. I don't know if I even slept, but I came to. I finally realized where I was, and I was sitting there and was like, fuck. How did I get here? I'm like, how could you even ask yourself that question? You know how you got here.
Yeah.
Let's never come back here. So I didn't know what I was facing outside, but I finally got bailed out, and that was it. I went to my lawyer the next day, found out that I was facing 10 years in prison for
Stealing bath mats?
for felony trespassing, robbery, blah, 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 blah. That robbery charge got dropped quickly though, but still everything else was still there. I remember being in the courthouse in front of the judge. I have no fucking idea what's going on. And she's like reading off my charges and then the bail. I'm like, I don't know what fucking $5,000 straight bail means. I don't know what that means. She was call a bail bondsman. I'm like, okay. I went to jail. I sat in that truck with the other prisoners. They're all locked up, man. It was fucking, what a scene that was. And I'll never go through it again. I never did.
So have you been sober since then?
I've been sober since then. Besides me smoking pot now, I was stone cold sober for about 7 years.
So
7 years.
Wow.
Where did you go to rehab? How long was the
I went to
rehab?
Clearbrook for 28 days.
Was that? Did you do anything after
So
that?
I went to out treatment at DATS for about 6 months, 3 days a week, 4 days a week to start off.
Now, did you go to treatment because it would lower a sentence, or did you
I went
go?
to treatment because I didn't even care about that. I mean, that was my lawyer's plan, but I wanted to go to rehab. I needed to be.
You would hit your limit internally.
I needed to be removed from where the fuck I was because I wasn't getting better at home. No way.
Now, throughout all this time, is anybody like, hey, Bri, I think you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing?
There was a couple times where, like, for a good example, Thanksgiving dinner, I slept through my I didn't want to go eat dinner. I was so tired. I wanted to sleep. So I just ignored everybody. Well, my friend Rocco, my best friend, his mother owns the building. So obviously he got a key, opened the door to see if I was fucking alive.
Yeah.
And then I think my mother upset. I made up a bullshit lie. She believed me. Nobody else did, but I thought that mattered. As long as my mom believed me. People were naive. My friends weren't naive. My brother wasn't naive. My best friend Rocco wasn't naive. They knew what was going on. They just never said anything. They're like, he'll stop it when he wants to stop.
Have you talked to them about it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've talked about it since then.
Listen, when I got in trouble, they were the first ones in my corner.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't ignored. I didn't treat them badly in my addiction. I didn't screw them over. I just didn't hang out with them.
You weren't really like violent in your addiction,
No,
were
I
you?
didn't. No, I wasn't violent. I didn't steal off anybody. I didn't get into that. I'm sure eventually maybe it would have turned into that.
It could have.
Yeah. But like, I just ignored them. I didn't see them a lot. And then one of my biggest regrets is, now when I was younger, my jobs kept me from seeing my niece and nephew grow up, but then my addiction stopped me from keeping my niece and nephew grow up. And they know my story now. We do our best but now they're both in college. So it's like, I miss them growing up. That's one of my biggest regrets.
Do you think that was like, it's a terrible time for you, but do you think that that's a great thing that happened?
Besides dying, it was the best thing that ever happened.
Wait, did you die too?
No.
Oh,
it was, if I didn't get better, I was better off if I was dead because I was going to kill somebody else probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this shit, I used to drive all the time, do a lot of stupid stuff. It was a matter of time.
So was everybody forgiving? Was everyone
that was friends in my family, yes, they were just happy that I got better. Then I had to prove to them that I was going to get better. Mm-hmm. And I knew the only way I could prove that I'm going to get better is by getting better. And everybody started helping me from day one. My counselors, the court system, I got financing for rehab. All these people wanted to help me out, and I didn't want to spit in their face. Don't get me wrong, the motivation not go to jail was top tier.
Yeah,
yeah.
My mother not crying again was right above that. She was sitting on top of that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that you wanted to avoid.
I wanted to avoid my mother being upset again and going to jail.
Yeah.
Equally, probably. You know?
I wonder why it is that like are you tight growing up?
Oh yeah. Well, my mother for sure. Absolutely.
I just don't like,
he's an Italian boy. Of course they are.
I'm her baby.
last week he was.
I'm her baby.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Do you have other siblings?
My brother Joey, yeah.
Older or younger?
Older than me.
So you're the baby.
I'm the baby.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I always just like, even in like my own shit, like I find it in hindsight where it's like, you know, you have that feeling where you're like, I just don't want to disappoint my family. But that whole time, that's all we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, what does it take to have that moment where you're like, maybe it's just, you couldn't have had it earlier. You just had to, that was its time when it's time.
My moment, my rock bottom was sitting in jail. That was it.
There's a lot of that for people.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't, when I was on treatment, I was lucky enough to get on, you guys know what treatment court is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on treatment court, Lackawanna County Treatment Court, saved my life. I fully knew what I was getting myself into. And
so you're a big advocate for the Lackawanna County Treatment Court.
God, yeah, absolutely. I would love to talk about it.
Go.
People. I remember when I first got for that.
It's like one of those toys.
Yeah. People that are listening that don't know what treatment court is. It's similar to an ARD program. If you got a first DUI, you're in trouble for your first time, you get a little program, do some probation, and you get off, and then it's off your record. But the DUI will always be there. Treatment court is an extended program with that, where nonviolent criminals can plead guilty to their charges. So I pled guilty to a couple counts of felony criminal trespass, disturbing the peace, public drunkenness, whatever the fuck it was, right? So I give up all my rights to Judge Barace. And if I fucked up on the program, he could just be like, okay, stay in prison for the max amount of years that you're under the law for those like 10 years. He could be like, if I fucked up real bad, he could just let me rot and stay in prison for 10 years.
But in a way, doesn't the court, so like you said before, like going to jail, your mom, right? Does the treatment court in a way up the stakes? And it's your choice.
It's my choice.
It's your choice to up the stakes.
All I have to do is whatever they tell me to do.
It's basically like almost a second chance program. And it's like,
absolutely.
You screwed up, but it's your first time.
It's your first time screwing up.
And if you're willing to change,
even second
great.
Time, even
but you're gambling. You're gambling because
you're gambling on yourself.
Yeah. You're doubling down on yourself.
But don't forget either, you're not playing a sport where there's other people that are playing against you. You're not doing a jiu-jitsu match.
It's you against you.
I'm going to bet on myself in a jiu-jitsu match, but Jesus Christ, I could get choked down in the second. When it comes to treatment court and getting sober, it's me and me only.
Yeah.
There's people around us. I'm a big believer in once my body got detoxed off the drugs, I was no longer fighting the urges that my body was having. Now it's just me and my mind. I have to be stronger than my mind. If I go back to eating Xanax or eating Adderall or Vicodin, it's not this disease concept bullshit that's going to bring me back.
Disease,
I just got into that on the Go Getters podcast. Don't get me. Yeah, it's.
I never heard of the Go Getters.
Oh, no, you never did?
Yeah. So wait. So they said
they asked me about it, and I said that the disease concept. I don't believe in the disease concept. When my counselor was trying to tell me about it, I'm like, well, I made these choices myself.
Yeah. I
chose to do this and do that. Now, did the drugs win a lot when I was detoxing? Yeah, because I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't strong enough to say no to the drugs. I wasn't strong enough to know where the road, if I don't do drugs, where would that road go? The only road I knew were those side roads where all the bad shit was.
Yep.
That's the devil,
I got off the path where I was headed towards, and then I went to rehab. I got lucky to get on treatment court, and I started going to AA all the time and just getting a little bit better every day. The whole one day at a time. It couldn't be more fucking true. But disease concept, I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't fucking know. I don't believe that I'm going to go back to doing drugs because my mind is going to make me do it. I'm going to make that choice.
I think, well, did you listen to the podcast I did with Bill?
Most of it. I think I missed the last half an hour.
I'm sure you got to the medicine stuff.
Go ahead.
I think if you call it a disease, then you can treat it like it is a disease instead of taking self-responsibility.
Like obesity.
Yeah. Like I have obesity. It's like put the obesity. Fucking fork down.
You have an eating problem.
Yes.
And your weight is the outcome of you overeating. Just saw a friend last night. I'm like, bro, you look great. He goes like, yeah, I just stopped eating. Hate to say that. I'm like, no, what you did was you stopped overeating. He goes, yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's all it is. Dieting, I tell my clients, personal training clients, put the fork down. There's more to it than that. But I go doing the keto diet, doing the carnivore diet, doing this fucking diet, doing that fucking diet, doing this Pilates, doing this squat, doing this bench press. It doesn't fucking matter if you're overeating every day. You have to find balance with your diet, and then you'll lose weight. Doesn't matter. If you exercise every day, you could eat a little bit more, but it comes down to your diet. The diet is 99% of it.
So I think that people that go through that have, obesity, addiction, blah, 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 it's all from trauma. Somewhere in their life, there's a trauma that ended up being the reason. I'm
600-pound life most of the time. You ever watch that show?
Which one?
My 600-pound life?
No, I don't have a TV big enough to watch that.
Boo.
Come on.
Dad jokes.
Come on.
Anyways.
You're on a 3-minute timeout.
Yeah.
Like the ones who I was looking for the remote and it's in my back.
Yeah. But most of those people, it's always trauma. So it's always trauma.
There's always something that happened when they were a kid that they just didn't get over. That's why you got to do mushrooms with a blindfold on.
That's interesting.
Let's not encourage him to do more drugs.
So I'm just gonna, I looked into it a lot. Like, I'm not a guy who's just like, oh, my friend Pete said to do it.
Oh, I hear you.
I listened to doctors. I watched
in my 20s.
TED Talks.
I would do it. Whatever Pete told me to do, I'd probably do.
But it was fascinating, and it puts all the onus on you,
right? And
it becomes. I was in therapy for 15 years. I learned more in the first 5 hours of that hero dose than I did in 10 years of therapy.
Interesting.
That's why because all the ways was like, you got to be blindfolded. You can't be distracted.
How long did you do that for?
I did it on February 22nd, 2020 on a couch in Old Forge. And it was probably a 5.5 hour journey.
No shit.
Yeah. And I did another one back in January.
Good town to be in too.
Well, it was probably not a good setting place. No. But then in January, I just did one in Central PA that was beautiful.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it helps a lot with addiction, and it helps a lot with trauma, and it helps a lot with.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about this.
You know,
the microdosing, right?
It's not. Well, I mean, I think you got to do a big one, and then microdose to get yourself to like, and then you become your own therapist. You know, and that's what I.
Well, there was even like for you, there was baby steps along the way of trying to figure that out and fine tune it, like with the microdosing and things like that.
I feel like that's how sobriety is. I think that's how sobriety is.
I think like my wife's a bartender, man, and I always tell her, I said, there's two reasons to drink: celebration and sadness, and most of the people don't look like they're celebrating shit. So something's going on, you know. And I think the addictions to that, like drag race, like my dad's a drag racer, drag racing, sports. Like I think there's a compulsion there based off of a trauma. You know, and it's not to say that like, oh, I was abused by a badger when I was a kid.
Yeah. You
know, your dad could have said something when you were 8 that was in his mind innocuous, but you took it to 45. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just a big advocate for it. I'm a big advocate for it.
I hear you say.
You know?
I would be interested in trying mushrooms, but I don't know about blindfold. It'd be interesting.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
It turns it internal.
I don't know if
just
I can handle
blindfold on.
I saw
and
the
open
most.
your
I can
mouth.
handle that right now.
I saw the most beautiful. Here, So I had a friend of mine come over who's interested in doing it, and they came over here, and at the end of it, they wanted you to write down like what you experienced. Let me see if I can find it. Now it's going to get real personal. Because why not, right? Post trip. Oh, there it is. Post trip. Okay. So 8:39, still coming down. Took it at like 4:00, right? So before you start doing, I want to have her on the show, the girl who I went and did it with, because she's like fucking phenomenal. So should I not go into this? Is this too much or?
I mean, we're in it now.
Oh, okay.
Do you have permission?
These are me. I have permission to do this. Yeah. I just
is your.
I just didn't know if you guys were interested.
Go for it, bro.
Okay.
This is your writings.
So it was 3 days, right? And you do like these breathing ceremonies, these gratitude things.
Oh, no
you
shit.
Eat healthy. You make sure that like it's all good. And then it was me and like 6 or 7 women.
Okay.
Who the day before they were calling me a white colonizer. Right. So I'm like, I just don't care. Right.
We don't need men. We don't need men. We don't need that's the new thing now.
It was very much like that.
Yeah. We
right?
don't need men now.
Then, you know, usually it takes about 45 minutes to kick in. They made a tea, 10 fucking minutes.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It was 10 minutes soaring and my legs started to like shake, like tremble. And the one dude and the only other guy there came over, and like you have trip sitters. You have people there who are not on
That's cool.
psychedelics to make sure that you're okay. And
I used to hate being around normies. It's called them normies.
No, they're called what are they called?
I used to call them normies because I don't want to be around them and they were normal.
So I'll just give you like a Cliff's Notes.
Please.
So like the day before you do the trip, she'll go around the group and say, "Who are you?" And everybody described things that happened to them, but not who they are. And I was sitting there going like even when it got to me, I did it. And I'm like, that's really interesting. Like we don't know who we are.
Yeah.
So we take the fucking high dose of mushrooms. There's a playlist that is unbelievable. And it's me and 6 women. I'm the white colonizer. And so when my legs started to tremble, I knew that like you have to surrender. Right. So I just kept saying like under my breath, like surrender, 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 surrender. And then I got to, first thing I saw was an eye of an eagle or some bird, majestic nevertheless. I'm writing this at the tail end of my trip. We flew through Egypt. It was blue, yellow, and orange. I saw the grays. You know what the grays are?
No.
Do you ever see aliens with the
Yes.
almond eyes?
Yeah.
I saw the grays, many of them in formation, almost like a repeated copy, think an 80s music video. I saw that I can only describe as an ancient queen, a tribute to a powerful woman. There was sacred geometry and the Fibonacci. These are all things that I'm just seeing. Then it really started to hit. And at first I was looking for answers, but it wanted me to calm down. Then I was at the center of the universe looking for a reason for anything, and it brought me to my wife, my center of the universe, all that I live for and all that I need to do a better job at protecting. If any of you guys call me gay,
What if we're just thinking it?
you can think that.
Okay.
I felt tremendous love, but sadness that she wasn't there. Then I wished I had a piece of her with me like a totem. And then the universe told me that I was foolish to have something physical because she gave me a piece of her heart. And nobody can see that but me, which makes it the rarest of all things.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and then it brought me like to my but then it brought me to my family and
Goddamn, real
and
good.
like my mom and my dad and like they're really great people. And I was kind of a prick when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to have a fucking fight? I'll put
Pizza fight.
I'm gonna put a fire extinguisher up your ass.
I want to see that. That's why I
But
came here.
I think the only way.
Start with this little pizza table.
Point first.
But I think the only way is to confront things like that. I think the only way is to do it with the blindfold on because it's you're on your own. Like there is nothing around you.
That's definitely interesting.
To interrupt you.
I've seen a lot of shit when I was tripping before. But that'd be interesting.
But now imagine,
interesting.
doing this and just breathe. All you gotta do is breathe.
You know why you saw the Greys in Egypt?
I don't know.
Because they built the pyramids.
I think it was before that. I think that shit's been around for tens of thousands.
They're the ones
of years.
that put them there.
Are you into the ancient civilization stuff?
Who's building those fucking pyramids back then?
You know, the Egyptians.
The fuck out of here.
With the Jews did.
Get out of here.
With the chisels.
Yeah.
With
How
chisels,
long
they
did it take?
that.
100 fucking years to get those. Get the fuck out of here.
Do you think it could be a power source?
I believe everything except the fact that they built them with their own hands. You see those fucking things? Come on, it's insane.
Do you know there's not one hieroglyph inside the Great Pyramid of Giza?
There's nothing in there?
Not one hieroglyph.
So what does that mean?
There are many people that say that under the right circumstances with water, it is a power source.
Interesting.
The type like Tesla would talk about. Remember Tesla would talk about free energy? Nikola Tesla back in like the early 1900s?
Yeah.
Free energy all around the world just through frequency. I think that's what
there was pyramids from around the same time in history all over the world on different continents.
which is really bizarre.
And then, you have the gold tip on the top of it.
It was all, the outside was all marble.
There's a conspiracy that there's pyramids in an elephant. You ever hear about that?
I did hear about this.
I went up to my friend. We went to this Red Rock something place up in like elephant area up there. This middle of nowhere. This guy sells all kind of rock stuff like that. I forget his name, but he showed me a book about it.
Really?
He showed me a book about it. It's like these guys think that there's pyramids under the churches in elephant.
I did hear about this. I didn't know there was pyramids under the churches.
Under the churches, they are.
But there's a lot of.
No, actually, if you look at the ley line or the lines up in Oliphant and where I think it's like the synagogue is or something like that. Like if you look at the lines of where the churches are, it's some sort of like geometry.
That was
now we're going to deep dive into this one.
That was in. Remember when we went to Dorian's during COVID?
Yeah.
Right. The center of that is supposed to be the center of that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I didn't find that out till after. Yeah, it's pretty wild. There's a lot of wild shit around. I believe there's been civilization in America before the Native Americans. And I believe that there's been a worldwide civilization that we just don't know about.
Very possible.
Yeah. What does Graham Hancock say? Graham Hancock says that we are a species with amnesia.
Oh, so you ever watch Stargate?
Pause.
Oh, pause. Yeah.
I have watched every single episode of every single show of
great.
Stargate.
All right, so let's get into
a lot of it.
Amazing,
is on
right?
Stargate.
Hey guys,
Amazing.
can I get a piece of pizza from you real quick?
Yeah, throw it at him. 'Cause he's a
Amazing.
cocksucker.
The ancients were the first ever in that show.
Yes.
As you know, the ancients were the first ever civilization. Then they left Earth, and then the second evaluation, then the second evolution happened.
Yes.
Right?
I'll have a little bit. Yeah.
Remember Battlestar Galactica? You ever watch that?
I love Battlestar
Remember the end?
Galactica. Yeah, it's
You're in
happening
the
before.
wheelhouse.
It'll happen again.
And they were back on Earth with the primates.
Yep.
I fucking love sci-fi.
Battlestar Galactica. Do you know who turned me on to Battlestar Galactica? Spike Lee's producer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was working in LA at the time, and I'm working on this show about inner city Latina gangs.
Mhm.
And trust me, man, I was the only white dude on set, but he's like, "You got to watch Battlestar Galactica," and I'm like, "What? Like, that's your jam?" He's like, "You got to watch Battlestar Galactica," and then I started, and I couldn't stop.
How
and
cool
I
the first
followed it.
episode when they're going back up the ship and they're fucking shooting it. Hook you right in.
It starts with the miniseries.
Mhm.
And then the first episode of season 1 is called 33, where they have to jump every 33 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best written television shows of all time.
Great show. Stargate. I would say
But all the crazy shit that I believe,
Yeah.
a lot of it's in Stargate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you know that?
No.
Pyramids.
Did I ever show you that Great Awakening map thing? Where it's got like all the conspiracies on that, like all of that shit's in Stargate.
It is.
It's either in Stargate,
Really?
yeah. It's either in Stargate
The
universe.
big thing is the aliens building the pyramid. That's the big story behind it.
Yeah, and they were in the aliens. The Greys at the time would be considered
The Asgard.
the Asgard, so that would be like Thor
The good
and
people.
Yep.
Oh man, I started watching YouTube. I started watching YouTube shit. I watched one Stargate YouTube stuff. Now I'm seeing now I get them all. Top 10 this, top 20 of that.
It's such a good show.
And then I liked Universe. And then like, fuck you, we're canceling.
You know what they did? They took that whole crew, and that whole crew ended up being Battlestar Galactica.
What?
So the whole, if you go back and look at Universe, Universe came out before Battlestar Galactica.
Did it really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
No, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure because that whole crew then went over to work on Battlestar Galactica. So like that's why it looks the way it did because Universe was supposed to be like
Crew as in the actors or
No.
Oh,
The crew as in, like,
okay.
the
Then
behind-the-scenes
that's your wheel.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's your wheel. Okay. I thought you meant like the actors. I'm like, I don't think so. Let's see what actors on there.
I love sci-fi like that. I think it's phenomenal.
I grew up watching Star Trek on Channel 44.
These guys don't watch any of it.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
So I watched
on WVIA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
WVIA.
the Stargazer guy would be on before it.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
Keep looking up.
I can picture the music. I can almost whistle the music for that. But I used to watch it with my father all the time, commercial free.
Yeah.
Captain Kirk. I remember seeing Undiscovered Country in the movie theater.
Is that I think I saw it up at the Eric Theater because that would have been like the 90s.
I probably saw it. It was probably
That was one with Spock's. That was one with Spock's brother.
Undercover. No, that was part 5. That was a really bad produced.
That was the Shatner one.
Yeah, it was just so done. It looked so cheap.
Yeah.
The story wasn't bad. It was they tried to be too comical and it looked like it was cheap. But Undiscovered Countries when they got sentenced to death at the planet.
Yeah, and they get
the ice
shipped
planet?
off.
Him and the doctor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, great. I love those movies.
They're phenomenal.
Yep.
And then the Next Generation with
I watched those movies too, but I don't watch the show a lot. Next Generation. I don't watch the show a lot.
Yeah, I watched the original one and then I watched the movies.
Yeah.
But not until probably the past like 10, 15 years I started watching.
I watched a lot of Enterprise. I think the first 3 seasons of Enterprise.
Watch all Enterprise.
And then the new Star Trek's pretty good.
Discovery.
Yeah, the new one. It's not the first season was really good. I think I'm lacking on the second
Are you like,
season.
what the fuck?
I'd have no clue what you're talking about.
No, not Discovery. I don't watch Discovery. I watched the new
Did you watch
Star Trek with Captain Kirk, where it was the prequel.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's the prequel on this, the new series.
Brave New Worlds.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I don't watch any other Star Trek seasons except for
Voyager and Deep Space Nine are really good.
Yeah, I don't watch any of those.
They're really good.
I don't watch any of those.
I'm telling you.
Just
give it a shot.
You know what ruined watching TV shows for me? Watching
What?
YouTube. 10,
to see how it's
15
made?
I'm addicted to
like
YouTube.
10 to 15 minute episodes. Now I'm trying to watch a fucking season with 8 seasons. It's hard for me to watch. I am watching Deadwood right now. You watch Deadwood?
That was
Great
good.
show.
I'm watching that again right now. Probably my 5th time watching it. I've been noticing a lot more stuff this time, dude. Sopranos is the best show ever made.
I agree.
I still don't
I
get
can
that.
watch that 20. I watched that 20 times.
I still don't see the.
Well,
I
you're
was
wrong.
never a Soprano. I watched every episode. I was like, oh, okay.
That's okay to be wrong.
I know I'm wrong, but I think it's
What was
like
your favorite TV show?
of all time.
Yeah.
Queer Eye.
Was there a lot of seasons of that?
69. Battlestar's up there.
Definitely has to be.
Battlestar Galactica's up there.
The cast is.
Are you serious?
I had a big crush on Starbuck.
Oh, fucking Katie Sackhoff.
Who's Starbuck?
Starbuck.
Yeah,
Dan?
Katie.
And then she came into another.
not so big on
she came into another show I used to
Pull
watch.
it up. Who's Starbuck?
Katie Sackhoff. She was in. Now she's on The Mandalorian. And she's got.
That's what I'm thinking about Mandalorian.
And she's
But there was
got a
something
new,
before that, I think though too.
She does a new podcast now. Patricia Helfer was always.
I don't really watch podcasts.
They're awful. You should.
I don't really listen to.
It's a waste of time.
I listen to a lot of them. It's bizarre.
I've been getting more into watching them.
I've stopped watching movies. I've stopped watching any of that shit. Now I
Yeah.
just want to watch his documentaries, Senate testimony.
You gotta watch that Xanax show on.
I will watch that on
gotta
your
watch that.
recommendations.
Xanax
There's
was-
Starbuck.
That was not fun getting. Oh, hey Starbuck.
Okay, I get it.
She's been naked in one film.
Go back to her Battlestar Galactica days.
Oh, you're asking a lot from me right
Just
now.
type in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, after her name.
Yeah.
Asking you, this is your job, isn't it?
Well,
He's really bad at his job.
I mean, it's complete. It's a complete turn, but I've been hyper addicted to finding Hitler lately.
Battlestar is
like
all
hunting
one word.
Hitler.
Oh, bro.
The idea that
Kennedy,
he
Tim
survived.
Kennedy.
Yeah, the fact that he like survived World War II and went to South America. That's my new addiction.
Oh, look at
okay.
Look at
No, up one.
That one.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sharing this. So
Make it a little
you don't
bigger.
know.
Go hit images.
I can't see it. So small. Oh, look at her. She is awesome. Look at that one right there. All the way to the right. It's nice.
I'm not sharing this, by the way, just so you know.
You should share it. Show
I
it
should,
up.
but
Put it up.
no, it's too late.
It's not too late. Put
You're
it
not
up.
sharing Starbucks?
You're not showing the
To the world?
Why would you do that, Dan? Why
You're
would
not
you not
entertaining
show-
the masses?
People don't know what she looked like 20 years ago compared to the Mandalorian now. She looks great in the Mandalorian, but this is her in her prime.
Patricia Helfer, man. Tricia Helfer was
Absolute
super
babe.
hot. Did you figure it out yet, Dan?
Yeah, 1 second.
1 second. For anyone watching right now, we were looking at a screen of Katie Sackhoff in all of her different outfits. From
Oh, no,
Battlestar
they're looking
Galactica.
at all the pedos.
Now they're looking at the pedos? What?
Whatever.
What
Just-
screen is up?
Just talk about the things.
Scroll down.
I just noticed.
Dude,
your Kim Jong Un fucking
Huh?
thing hanging up there.
Riff, raff, raff, Bri.
You ever see videos of that country?
Huh? It looks
Yo.
pretty dystopian.
You ever see the satellite image?
Rough.
Where it's off at night.
Off. It's the middle of the day.
No, they turn the lights off
No,
at night.
nighttime. Yeah, it's insane. Absolutely insane. Imagine living in that country. They have no internet.
No. I
People-
think,
the
well, that's
citizen-
not true because China uses them to fucking hack into other
But
countries.
some citizens there have no fucking clue what the fuck's going on in the world.
Do you know who? Yeonmi Park.
Yep.
Did you ever see the Joe Rogan interview with Yeonmi Park?
No, I don't think so.
This beautiful North Korean girl who escaped North Korea. She tells her
Yes.
story.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
She
insane.
goes, we don't know what the word love is. We don't know what it means.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. No one should live that way.
I'll show her.
Click on the one with her in her the gown outfit right there.
What gown? Oh,
With
what
the
gown?
red
With the red
background?
background.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now click on the picture on the right.
This one?
The purple one?
The actual picture. It'll get bigger so we can see it.
Yeah, this is Dan's first
Maybe.
time on Google.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we did, Mike.
God
What did we
damn
click
it.
on?
He didn't do anything.
There
He just
it
got
is.
Impatient. Yeah, she's beautiful. I've always had a
beautiful.
little crush on her.
Yeah, she's something else.
She's incredibly talented.
Great actor. She made that show. That was real life.
Edward
She
James
was a
almost
big
was
part.
fucking
Oh, he
amazing on
was,
that.
man. He was so
Fucking
good.
Adama.
Mhm.
And
The assistant.
Baltar.
The whole
You
show
know-
was good.
Do you know who my favorite was? Remember the episode where they had the trial of Baltar?
Yes.
It was like 2 episodes
Yes.
at like the end of like season 3.
Mhm.
And the guy who was
Because he put them on that planet.
yes, he was
Yeah.
so the guy who was the lawyer,
Yeah.
I met him.
Did you? That's pretty cool.
I met him at in LA and he helped me set up my Match.com profile in the office and he's awesome. Like he was on Supernatural for all those seasons.
Match.com.
Yeah, it was the first one Match.com came out. It was like 2009 in LA.
Who is this?
What the fuck? Mark. I forget his name.
Those dating sites are rough, bro.
We only set it up and I never went on
They're
it.
rough. The dating sites are so stupid.
So Mark, God, I forget his name. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So what kind of content are you guys doing now?
We're down at the OTS.
Yeah, like how does this all work? So how does Pizza Party and how does Food Fight?
I don't fucking know what pizza party is.
How does Food? How does
That's a third podcast we're going to start.
Pizza
does-
Party.
Perfect.
Yeah,
One
it's
week
just-
podcast.
yeah, at the strip club?
That's perfect.
How do all these things come together? Like how does OTS then partner up with Food Fight and
So me and Bill, I was on Bill's podcast on the Stacks for the first time. It was May was 1 year, so like a year and a month or two ago, right? So on his episode, was just starting off with the Food Fight page. I was into it for a little while. He was more interested in hearing my sobriety story. So
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't even know you were sober.
what's that?
I didn't really know that you were sober.
What do you mean?
Well, like it's like when you walked in, I was like, do you have a
Oh, it's all
drink?
good.
Yeah, but so I like delving into your story. It's like, oh man,
Oh, it doesn't.
it's like terrible telling the same stories over and over again.
Oh no, I don't mind with different
Okay,
audiences.
all right.
Different audiences. You know what I mean? Hopefully somebody hears it and wakes up. you
Yeah,
know?
I just felt bad. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. So when he wanted to hear that story, we got into that other stuff we talked about, and then a few months later, lady from Wilkes University saw our episode, and she was in charge of putting on the drug addiction and pain summit that they do every year at the Wilkes for like 120 doctors, lawyers, everything like that. She saw the video, reached out to Bill and myself. She wanted me to be the speaker at Wilkes. It was like 8 months away from that time.
Have you ever done this before?
I never spoke in front of
publicly.
Never told the story. I've shared my story
at meetings,
at meetings or at rehabs in front of a bunch of people. So, and plus I know I'm used to being in front. I'm used to making my videos and everything like that. So that didn't really make me nervous at all.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, absolutely, and like absolutely. So we met her at Wilkes. She told us what it was going to be. I'd be speaking for this 45 minutes or so. And I'd be like,
45 minutes.
Be like, sure. And they paid us, which is great, and I was like, yeah, we'll do it. So then we're walking back to the car and Bill was telling me future wise at OTS that they were going to expand into bringing in more podcasts. And I said to him, oh man, I would love to do a podcast for the food fight. It'd be great in this area. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, he's like, okay, hopefully, maybe by January, right? This was like October. The next thing I know, next day, he texts me, bro, you ready to get started? I'm like, yes.
Is that how he talks? Bro, you ready to get started?
You ready to get started? Yeah.
He seems like a very motivational person.
He is. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like I have your back.
Yes. Yes. They have that vision of what they're doing down there. And I trust them because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing yet. I'm learning more and more as I go. But I was like, yeah, let's do it. Next thing I know is I have a meeting with him and Jimmy Martin, and we are talking about everything that's good that we could do. And that was it. And next thing I know is I was, now I have to go try to find some sponsors. And then we got the idea of the podcast ready, the name of the podcast ready, all that kind of stuff.
Pizza party.
Yeah.
I wanted
it's
to be
a good name.
I just keep pulling it back.
I just wanted to be DiMattei's Food Fight, but they're like, we can't have your last name. We got to make it a little bit different than the Food Fight page. So it was like then there's other podcasts that exist that are called Food Fight. It's one that doesn't even make episodes anymore. On one that makes like random ones, and it's like a guy and a girl doing it. I listened to it. It's kind of boring, and I was just like, let's just go with
I won't give a bad pizza review. Podcast.
I'll shit on a podcast.
I was like, let's just go with Food Fight. And we went with Food Fight. I'm like, the gym, I need the gym to be the main sponsor. That just makes sense.
Right.
And the gym I work for, and they came on as the main sponsor. And then I got other sponsorships that, they take care of, they pay for the show.
So how does that, how does that work? So like a sponsorship.
So Dino's in the Wyoming Valley Mall is one of my main sponsors. So they pay X amount of dollars and they get their brand and they get their advertisement on the podcast in the beginning of the show.
Like, do you do a read?
I read it, and then visually, if you watch it on YouTube, you have their logo and you have what I'm saying about them. And then if you're listening to it, you just hear the commercial. But like I said, I've added in more value to it with the more my page gets bigger for local restaurants, it makes sense for them to advertise on my page. So now I'll go to their store and I won't do a review on I've had this pizza last week, so I knew how fucking good it was. So I was like, I'm going to do a review today, let everybody else know about it, and bring you guys some pizza, but like, for an example, like I won't go to the store and do a review on their new product and be like, oh, this is great, no matter what. I'll go there, I'll do a video on them making that pizza and post that. Get this pizza tonight at Dino's here, there. So it'll be like do
you shoot that on a cell phone or do you shoot it?
I do everything on my cell phone.
Okay.
Everything on my cell phone.
No, Bill, do you edit it on your cell phone?
I edit everything on my cell phone. Yep. I do. I have InShot and captions. I do both apps. Okay. And all my videos on my food page are all done on my phone. Okay. Yeah. OTS does everything on the cameras. You were down there. Yeah. So, but yeah, most of the food reviews done. Now Facebook changed their videos from horizontal to vertical. Ugh. So now they want you to shoot vertical.
I hate shooting that way.
They want you to shoot vertical now because they'll play it that way. That's where you make your money.
It's unnatural.
You rather shoot it like this?
Well, why do you think your TV's this way?
I don't disagree.
Because this is how your eyes see.
Yeah, but
so when you start doing it like that, it's just really.
But 80% of the people on Facebook, they want to watch the reels, but now they want to watch longer format. Now they're mixing in the longer format videos with the reels.
I don't mind doing the 9:16 as long as what's all that's supposed to be there's in there. Yeah, and you put like. But now that's why we do. Well, now we're doing the fucking clips that are 9:16 too. So we're all just.
Yeah, it's just gonna be longer. That's
this is them controlling us.
Facebook is going to push that angle rather than horizontal angle.
I just fucking hate
because everything's gone from television to phones. It's everything's on your phone.
Reels. Facebook is pushing reels.
Yeah, people aren't on computers and iPads and phones.
TikTok still.
They're never going to catch up.
They're playing though. They're getting at it. They're getting after it though.
Are you doing Instagram too?
I do Instagram. I have an Instagram page,
and you don't fuck with TikTok.
That's where my pot. No, I'm on TikTok. I changed my name to DiMattia's Food Fight, put my logo up there, so now I don't fuck around with anybody on there.
Oh, so now I'll follow you on TikTok.
I just had a good video go about 23,000 views on there. It was my most one ever. TikTok's weird, man.
I was excited because I just did one and it was 2,000.
Yeah, I've been hitting a few of them lately on there.
What's it, DiMattia?
Well, my name it's just my regular name on there, but you'll see DiMattia's Food Fight. But yeah, if you type in DiMattia's Food Fight, it should come up.
Food.
But my reels work the same way. I don't have to change the format for both, which is nice.
Is this you?
Yes.
Perfect. Followed.
I just started posting my reviews regularly about 2 months ago.
Do you post those on Instagram as well?
No, some of them I will.
Okay.
Some of them I do.
But TikTok's your
I'm
primary.
so behind. I should have started the DiMattia's Food Fight TikTok page the same time I started the Food Fight page on Facebook. But fuck all that. Yeah, I do enough social media. I do social media for the gym, Instagram and Facebook. I do my food page, my regular page on Instagram, my food, the podcast Instagram page. So it's too much.
What do you guys have planned, or is that like super secret?
I just want to keep. I mean, I don't know what they have planned. I know the same. I know they're planning on bringing in more podcast people. I know they keep on building their brand. You heard Bill Bill mentioned on our other podcast that we shot about a month or so ago that he's looking for a bigger building. So they're looking to get, to grow TS even more. As far as the future goes, I'm not 100% sure yet. I know as far as the Food Fight podcast goes, I want that to become, part of my income, part of the way I make a living. You know what I mean? And I'm passionate about it. It doesn't feel like a job. I never want it to feel like a job. I bet this doesn't feel like a job to you guys. We're fucking been laughing our balls off for the last 3 hours.
We don't make money.
Yeah. Even perfect.
I've been asking all these fucking guests. I'm like, show us how to do it. Like, we don't know how to do it.
It's not, we just have to go and get a sponsor.
Yeah, you get sponsors.
So how does that work? So it's like, hey, we're a podcast. You $30. Like, how do you?
It's probably a little more than $30. It depends on
what's the.
So it could be a couple $100 for the mid-show sponsorship. It could be up to $600 for the.
So what do you do? Like a front, mid, and
we do front. We do in the beginning. The beginning commercial, a beginning sponsorship, and then we do one in the middle. And then we have friends of the show. I might mention in the show, stuff like that. But I'm looking for more product placement stuff. Trying to get the Carmela sauces. Trying to get Pat, which I talked to him last night. He's going to come on eventually. I'm like, let's come on. What the fuck are you waiting for? You know what I mean? I'm breaking his balls. He's do reviews for me. I love your sauce. I'll do reviews for you, but I need you to come on and be the fucking sponsor for the podcast. You listen, Pat. Sponsor the podcast. Told me maybe October. I get where he's from. I'm just breaking his balls. I'm breaking his balls.
Pat, get it together.
Do you guys know Pat from Carmela's?
No,
I might.
Carmela's. They own Carmela's Deli in West Side.
Oh, and I know Carmela's.
So
yeah.
Then their family owns Carmela's restaurant in Dunmore.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Then they make the sauces. They make the Carmela's, the taste of Bunker Hill.
I
ever
didn't
see
know
those
that.
guys? So they make bottled sauce. They started making it in Dunmore. Now it's becoming nationwide. It's getting really big. It's hometown sauce. It's not just factory made. Oh, it's jar sauce. No, it's sauce that they make themselves, but they just commercialized it.
Do you think do you think it's because of the nature of this that we're reticent about getting any sponsors?
Well, here's the thing.
That's how you make money, though. That's the answer to your question.
Here's the thing, Bright. Like, we never started this to be like Empire.
If you don't need to, then don't do it.
Well, now I want to.
I don't blame you.
Now I want us to make money.
I mean, it would be nice.
Listen, if I had to do the podcast, the way the podcast is set up, how much fun it is, and working with those guys, if it was, I get the sponsors and then, I make no money off it, but I'm still extending my brand and eventually maybe making money off other ways, I would do it for free. I love talking food. It keeps me, I love the restaurant business. I'll never work in the restaurant business ever again after working there for 20 some years, but I love the restaurant business. And this keeps me involved with it. I know what I'm talking about. People think I'm a fucking bum. Some guy goes to me the other day, what qualifies you to be a food critic?
What qualifies
you, motherfucker, to ask me why I'm a food critic? I go, my background alone qualified me for it. The town I grew up in qualified me for pizza. And eating it all my life and being around it and cooking it and being around and working in the restaurant business, from dishwasher all the way to management. I know we're working fine dining, bad dining, whatever the fuck it is. I know what good food is. As simple as that. I'm not a rag. I'm not doing it. I'm not blowing smoke on my ass. The reason people get mad at me, oh, you don't give honest food reviews. They get mad because I don't post bad reviews. We talked about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I work for a small business myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to go on there and blast ABC restaurant because their fucking cheeseburgers sucked. Mm-hmm. What
Do you do like a criticism though? Would you be like, hey,
I
if
do
you
look
did
at
this,
I did.
it would be phenomenal.
I started to change up a little bit. I started adding in a little critiquing. People have been saying, what about a little critiquing? It's not bad. I'm like, you know what? It's a good point. Tomorrow's Pizza and Piston. First time I ever had it. You ever have it?
No.
Tomorrow's and Piston. Oh, great pie, right? Everything was great. I give it a good score. I hate scoring pizza, but I give it a good score. But I was like, I could use a little more cheese from the crust to where it is here. Besides that, everything else was great. And the owners still thanked me for doing a review there. So they didn't mind that. So a little bit like that, I gotta start adding in a little bit more. I was a little worried to do that a little bit. Like, I don't want to get like, I don't want to, there's been some bad pizza, bro. There's been bad food I've been having. I would love to blast it, but what am I going to get out of that?
Views.
Yeah, it's
More
not
followers,
going to help.
more followers,
Views.
more followers. But
Then restaurants are going to stop letting you in.
I'm going to sleep like shit at night, and then I won't get sponsors.
Yeah.
Then I'll get,
I think you have to be. There's no reason for anybody. I think we talked about this on.
We talked about doing this years ago.
No, yeah, but I think maybe was it the Middleman podcast that went on where I was like, there's no reason to just do a thing to shit on things.
there's not.
Like those people are just assholes.
Do you ever see the podcast where the guys just treat the girls like fucking shit?
Oh, the Whatever podcast?
No, the girls do it to themselves on that podcast.
I think they're trying to help them.
Yeah, no. The Whatever podcast, fascinating podcast.
It is.
They might get once in a while, very rarely. I watch a lot of their clips. They might throw a dig once in a while, but it's only when the girls are really fucking being bozos.
Yeah.
But there's another podcast. It's darker in the room.
Yes, and it's
The
like
host.
like it's surrounded by.
They are.
brutal.
Those guys are fucking assholes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like they are. They think girls on, but the girls got to know what's going to happen when they go on the show. They want to get the views from that. But you're being embarrassed. These guys are.
Yeah, it seems like
They're
whatever.
chasing clout just to get on there. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Like, they don't care.
But listen, you want a clout? You want that kind of clout? Does that let you sleep at night? So I want more followers. I want more money from Facebook. So if I did bad reviews, I would get more followers. I would get more money from Facebook.
But you don't want to do
I'm
it
not
that
going
way.
to sleep. I'm not going to sleep at night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep well at night. I'm going to feel like an asshole. It's just that's how I
Man,
feel
all that
about it.
LSD helped.
Huh?
All
Definitely
that LSD helped.
Definitely helped.
Look, man. I think are you going to branch out from like? Are you going to travel? Are you going to do like a travel instead?
Wherever
of
I
local?
go, I do reviews wherever I go. I did a lot of reviews in Vegas when I was out there.
Did you
I
really?
did a lot of food reviews in Vegas. Yeah. So
People think you're nuts just sitting there with the fucking camera talking to it,
Fuck
like
'em.
your phone.
fuck them. Honestly, I don't fucking care. But yeah, probably. And then the people I'm with, I make them hold the camera for me. They probably can't stand it.
Really?
Yeah. Gotta hold the film for me.
That's
Or-
awesome.
But if they don't, I'll just place it right in front of me and do it myself. But then they're still in it. You know what I mean? They still have to deal with it.
Do you know what we should do? We should do around here. We should do like a PodCon.
I was thinking about that the other day,
Interesting.
actually, while I was cutting the grass.
That'd be interesting.
Don't you think?
I was
Do
thinking
like a
do
do a panel.
I was thinking, you know how we're talking about going to One Bite
Uh-huh.
Festival? There should be NEPA Pizza Festival.
Why isn't
I
there?
don't know. I thought that you know Jim Mirabelli?
Yeah.
I know that name.
From NEPA Pizza Review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked about it a few times. I asked him, like, well, Jim, he goes, the amount of work, because I don't have the time, the amount of work that will go into that. I eventually want to do something like that, or a pizza eating contest as well, but I want it to be a fundraiser. I want to get a fundraiser together. I want to get like some kind of like a foundation together to help younger kids that can't afford MMA to be a membership to MMA gyms. A lot of
I'm
kids,
with that 100%.
A lot of kids come in and their parents just can't afford what we charge.
The Scranton High School is now starting to, from what I understand, they're starting to do that. It's like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, the troubled kids and whatever.
That's
they're
what
going
I'm
to try to get them
talking
to jujitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is phenomenal.
Not even just the troubled kids, even just the
Well, you know
the
what
more or less fortunate kids that they might not be troubled.
I think it helps every kid.
I agree. I teach kids. We have 60 kids at our school, and when they come in, a lot of the parents bring them in for either being bullied or they are the bully,
Yep.
self-confidence,
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. You know,
I was doing jujitsu last year at like 6 a.m. for a couple months. And then I was like,
6 a.m. Where?
over here.
In Dunmore?
No, Scranton.
Oh, it's Scranton. Oh, okay.
yeah,
It's
Jimmy Simmeral's gym. You know Jimmy Simmeral?
I know.
Did you ever hear that name?
sounds familiar.
Yeah. Bunch of good guys. It's
Okay.
just like, I had to give it up for a little bit.
I understand.
It was the money and the time.
Yeah, no, I
it
get
was
it, bro.
like by 6 a.m. Like a lot of my shit happens after 8 p.m. So like by 7 p.m.
6
I'm like,
a.m.
I
is
want to go
early.
to bed.
6 a.m. is early.
Dude, doctors, police
I know.
officers,
I
like
know.
they're all there.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Like I said, the world needs a jiu-jitsu gym.
Mhm.
Is
It's
there
the great equalizer.
Yeah.
where do you see this going in your perfect world?
The food fight page? Or
Yeah, but I think it's like you're into health and you're into like,
so
self-defense and
my
like,
life.
You're a multi-hyphenate, but it has to come together to something. Or is it all these different things?
No. So I just changed careers a year and a half ago. I quit my job at the casino. I went to the casino for 8 years. I was a dealer. Making great money.
You said you wanted to tell me something crazy about the casino.
Oh, during the COVID. Casino was crazy during COVID. But yeah, I don't know if do you walk in there during COVID by any chance when we reopened? Mm-mm. Dude, it's fucking plastic everywhere. The rules were insane. They were allowed to smoke, but then they wear the masks afterwards. Like you had to smoke, take the mask off, smoke, put it back on. The quarantine rules were The quarantine rules were absolutely insane. So I was just had a cook on the podcast. He was a cook in the casino. And he told me, I didn't know this went on in the casino. So the dealers, I got COVID, right? I got COVID. I called them up, told them I got COVID. I got 9 people quarantined with me. Anyone that was near me, 9 people sent home 2 weeks. No questions asked. You're home for 2 weeks. Can't come back. That was in the beginning. It was real bad. Then it got down to a week, whatever, right? But they wouldn't quarantine the cooks at all because there's only 5 or 6 of them. So they would just work back there. If someone got COVID, they would be like, oh, he wasn't near them anywhere. Well, they were. I got quarantined once. My friend calls me, goes, oh, did you get quarantined because of me? I go, it was you? He goes, yeah. I go, I was nowhere near you in the EDR, our dining room. He goes, yeah, they're just calling everybody. I'm like, I was literally 20 feet from you. So now I have to sit home for work for 2 weeks and not get paid. I went and trained jiu-jitsu for 2 weeks. I was going to sit home. If I was legitimately next to someone, no one knew what the fuck was going on back then. I don't know if I was going to kill somebody if I was next to somebody, right? If I was legitimately next to someone that got it at that time, not knowing what we know, I was like, okay, I'll sit home for 2 weeks, not go anywhere. But I knew I wasn't anywhere near him. But I didn't miss work for 2 weeks and I was nowhere near this motherfucker. I called up work and said that. They're like, oh, we're just playing it safe. I'm like, you paying my bills? You're playing it safe?
I think they knew and they did it on purpose. That's where I'm at.
It's insane, man. So
Yeah.
then
I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah, it was just over and over and over and over again. And then I got COVID. I was sick for 3 months.
Sick for 3 months?
I couldn't taste food for 3 months.
Should have called me.
Do you have the magic pill for tasting food?
There was some magic pills we gave people.
I couldn't taste food for 3. I had COVID for 6 weeks.
You had COVID for 6 fucking weeks?
I was sick I couldn't leave my house. I couldn't get off the couch for 3 weeks. And
what?
Then I was dying. I was dying.
Did anyone give you anything?
Nothing. I was fucking.
Nobody said
I was dying.
Here's a fucking vitamin or here's a
I ate well. I was dying. I couldn't taste any food. So I just made sure I ate good food and I couldn't taste it. 3 weeks I was sick for. Then we shut down for Christmas. Remember we shut down for Christmas?
Uh-huh.
So I was home for that 6 weeks. I was just starting to get better. Went to Walmart. I couldn't make it up my stairs when I got home. I had to sit and take a break.
What?
I was really sick. So that's why I believe it was a real thing. Because I was fucking dying from it.
I believe it was something that they didn't treat.
It was just fucking right. That's very possible. I was just dying from it, man.
Yeah.
I was so sick. I couldn't feel any better. I couldn't describe how sick I was.
I think most people our age can survive a flu.
Yeah.
I think they said, here's the flu and you can't treat it.
Yeah. And my friend Rocco was sitting next to me. We were watching a video on my phone. Next day he got it, but he was sick for a day and a half. I was sick for a month.
You had it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? You've had it.
I had it before.
I might have had it more than once, but I never took a test again. I'm never testing again. So.
I just thought the only thing I could say is it felt artificial. It felt like an artificial illness. It felt like an illness I've never felt before. I don't know what the fuck
it was, but I never want to feel it again, though.
Yeah. Made in a lab.
Never want to feel it again. China.
I love the way he says China.
That's how he says
the way he says China.
I miss his smile.
China.
Trump doesn't care about China.
China.
Donald Trump don't like China. China asshole.
China.
All right, so
So I quit at the casino. All the bullshit that went in the casino. The rules changed every day. Enough of that.
So how are you? So I was asking you how you saw all this coming together.
So I quit my job at the casino. When Good Tree MMA in Dunmore, they were branching out to the Wilkes-Barre location. They asked me, they said, you mentioned that you would want to maybe, work here for us one day. We're interested and we're bringing somebody on. You could be the salesman. You take over Tyler's spot. Tyler Mooney is the one that he was working there. He's the one that owns and operates the Wilkes-Barre location now where I work. As soon as they asked me, I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I can't take a pay cut. I can't lose my insurance. I can't lose my retirement. Thought about everything that I would lose at the casino job, even though I was miserable there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. I said no immediately, right? I went home. Now I remember you said about stewing and shit. At the time, my ex-fiance now, I'm moping around the house for 3 weeks. Like, what's the matter? What are you stewing on? I'm like, I'm stewing on that job offer. I want to go work with my buddies at the gym. Then fucking do it. We'll figure it out. Call them up. They hire somebody else. I'm like, okay. They're like, listen, we'll need someone in Wilkes-Barre eventually. I'm like, okay. So now, missed opportunity. But now in my mind, I'm like, I could leave my job. I don't need to stay at the casino. There's other stuff out there for me to do. Long story short, I lasted about 2 more months. I quit after Christmas. Put my 2 weeks notice and quit. The gym opened in January. So I started going down, even though I wasn't working, I started studying to be a personal trainer. So in the meantime, I would go down to the gym and help with the classes from day one. So now I'm part of the school no matter what, right? Long story short, I'm going along. I finally get certified. I'm working my way to certification for personal training. I'm still not working. I was going to be the second man down there, the second salesman, but it didn't need a second person down there. So I'm like, I'm not going to work here at all, ever. Well, the guy that was working there fucked things up, got himself fired, and I was moved in on the rush, and I've been there for over a year now, and it totally changed my life. I work for a great company. It's just me and my buddy Tyler who owns the gym, and Frank Alonia and Tom McGuire. They're small owners of the gym. They're the main owners of the Dunmore location up here, and working for them is like working for my buddies. And when they want something done, that tone changes, where we go from friendship, hold on a second, business, okay, boom, I got it, right back to bullshitting. And that's how it is. That's a great relationship. That's how it works. They're leaders. They're not bosses. They're leaders. I've learned so much from them. And Tyler's 15 years younger than me. Frank is 12 years younger than me. But the stuff I learned, and me and Tom are on the same age, but the stuff I've learned from them, they're also my jiu-jitsu coaches too. So I learned jiu-jitsu from them, but I'm learning life lessons from these younger guys who didn't go through the shit I went through. I started my life over at 35 when I got sober. And I feel like I really just started my life at 42 because I'm doing what I want to do work-wise. I'm surrounded by jiu-jitsu every day. I get to teach kids and adults jiu-jitsu, the satisfaction I get from that. And I go to work for 3 o'clock. I do a little bit of computer work. If I didn't finish it while I was having coffee at my house, and I go to work and then I train jiu-jitsu for the rest of the night. I try to sign up new members, all that kind of stuff. Then I do the podcast stuff and I do my food page. And that's my plan. My plan 1 year from today is to make 50% more I'm making right now and eventually make my page go fucking countrywide to reach more and more and more people. I just had 2 videos go over 100,000, my fast food videos, and they're all over the country now. So people are starting to see more and more of it. That's my plan, to keep it fucking growing.
And it's happening.
It's happening one little bit at a time. If I keep it the way it is and evolve with it in the right way and not turn it into a shit fucking page, I'll be successful with it.
Well, just
patiently wise.
Consistency.
And I'm getting ready for my 20th episode of the podcast to come out in 2 weeks too. They're already recorded. I 24 of them recorded. So we already passed that threshold. And from my understanding, the feedback's pretty good. It's the way food podcast in the area.
Is it only people that have to do with food, or
food
sometimes
food and MMA? So mostly food. I love to find the ones that have both, which is great. But a few MMA people are gonna come on there too.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Then as I get more, and as it gets more prominent, more popular, more stable, I want to have talks like this. I want to have people come on the show and tell me their sobriety story, even though it's a food fight. It's a fight too. You know what I mean? So that's
for some people, food is their fight.
That's what I want to turn it into. I want to turn it into.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, that was much better than the last.
That was good.
I want to turn it into something like that eventually. Once it's more.
I think people need truth and hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you can tell them some truth and give them a little bit of hope that the world isn't just miserable and terrible.
Exactly. I want to help people. My reviews help businesses. I don't want to hurt businesses.
You want to lift people up.
I want to lift them up. I don't want to, people that make these stupid fucking comments. I want to go through. I want to smash their faces.
No, post and ghost it,
I
man.
do.
Why would you ever let
it bothered me in the beginning.
So we just did all these bunch of homeless videos, right? I'm going to say it because it's my favorite one.
It's funny.
It's my favorite fucking one.
Homeless videos?
We did, the homeless videos aren't funny and amazing. They're sad.
Yeah.
But we started doing like these series of homeless videos in Scranton about the homeless situation that we have going on here. And I wasn't going to comment like on our What a Week page, but every time someone posts something, I don't really give a fuck. So I'm just going to write, and I take nothing personal.
Yeah.
But this one guy wrote, what did he? I forget what he said, but it was very negative.
I forget. It was a shot at.
It was it was like, you know, and then I wrote, and his name was Jose, and I wrote back, no way, Jose. And I thought that was the funniest thing that I've done in a real long time. And then like 2 weeks later, he did it again, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. And I wrote, no way, Jose.
No way, Jose.
But most of the times when I interact with these people, it's always like, hey, look into this, look into that. I know you think that we're crazy and we're bastards, but I assure you that we're not.
People say to me, "Oh, that pizza's shitty." I'm like, "Oh, when did you have it before?" I never had it. This looks like shit.
Yeah, but those are people who are like,
oh, I know. Yeah, in the beginning, it was bothering me. I used to get back and forth. I used to block them. Now I have fun with them.
Have fun.
I do. I just go back, troll them right back.
I still haven't gotten my one that I really want to do yet.
I feel like silence would be the best answer. What's the fun in that though?
Yeah, but I think sometimes people need to get put in their perspective. They need fucking perspective. So I'm still waiting for the one who's like blah blah blah, and I'm like,
people are just miserable.
You sound like you have your 7th booster. Like I've always wanted to be like, I haven't thrown that out yet.
Remember I told you that the only reason I got my COVID vaccine shot was not wearing a mask at work. You had to get a COVID shot. If I wanted to stop wearing a mask at work, I had to get a COVID shot.
And you find out today that none of that fucking.
And then my best friend kind of shamed me. He's like, if you're not going to get it, you can't come near the kids or anything like that. And like, but then
kids are safe.
But then he like not too long after that, he's like, I think I was a fucking asshole to you about the COVID shot. I'm like, you were.
Yeah.
You guilted me into getting it.
Yeah.
You and work. Honest to God, I wasn't going to get it. And then you saying that, and then me not wearing a mask. I used to I used to put oil in my beard.
Yeah.
Coconut oil in my beard all the time for years, right? We wear the mask. I feel like I was deep frying my fucking face. So I stopped wearing coconut oil in my beard. To this day, they don't do it anymore. But
how many did you get?
How many what? What's that?
Jabs.
Oh, 1.
Did you get Pfizer?
Well, I got the one where you got 2 shots, whatever one it was.
But you didn't get the 2.
I got Johnson & Johnson. I got both.
Oh, no, Johnson was only 1 shot.
Whatever one was 2. I got.
That was Pfizer. Pfizer and Moderna, I think, were 2.
I think I got whatever one I got. I remember the first one I got, I was fine.
It's amazing to me, all the people who've gotten them.
Like, I don't know what I got. Yeah. I don't know. I just had to get that card.
Yeah. Did you have a Mountain Dew, a Dr. Cola, a Mr. Pibb, or a Sprite? I have no idea.
Probably the soda.
It was probably the whatever. You know
just put them all together and call it like we call that shot a suicide.
I got the first one and I was fine. The second one, I heard a lot of people got sick for like 2 days. And it works like, you get 1 day off. I'm like, well, I'm still fucking sick and this is your fault.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in work today.
No more shots from the government.
God, I was just so stupid. You see, they're rolling one out. They're getting ready to roll one out.
Yeah, let them.
I'm done with that. I regret not getting that.
McDonald's keeps coming out with the McRib. I still won't eat it.
I'll eat it. I can't wait for. Oh, I love how they retired it last year. Now they're coming back.
Yeah, it's like Kiss.
I said that. I go. Just like, look at this bullshit. Look at this bullshit. The McRib will
it's your last chance to get it.
It'll be your last chance. They're retiring it forever. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Did you have fun?
I had a good time.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up here, man. I know it's not in the backyard, so
this is great.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing us pizza.
Yeah, man,
pizza was fantastic.
And
did we cover everything?
I'm telling you, if you ever want to have somebody come down on your show and talk about wrestling,
oh yeah, wrestling figures, all that fucking shit,
everything. He's great at what he does.
Wrestling's gonna be on Netflix.
I saw that. I don't know how I feel about that, but with Vince McMahon gone,
I watch it sparing. I watch it a lot.
That's because he's shitting on people.
Well, but he put out some good TV in the 90s.
That story is fucking crazy with Vince McMahon.
But is it surprising?
No.
So like everybody needs to be like, all right.
It's still disgusting though.
Can we play Pizza Party one more time?
We close the show, Mark.
Can we close it?
No, Mark.
Close the show.
Let's close the show out.
Yeah, with that. I want to close the show out with that.
Just close the show out, Mark.
Dan is like, he's being very adult.
Hold on. Can we hear that pizza song one more time?
Let's just say goodbye and we can.
Brian, I know what he's trying to do. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
I can't say goodbye yet.
Yeah, wait,
I want to hear the song one more time. Okay.
Are you happy? Did you have a good time?
I had a good time, yeah.
All right. Dan, you want to say it?
So I want to thank everybody for coming out to the first episode of Pizza Fight. I want to thank our sponsor, Dino's Pizza and Restaurant, located in the Wyoming Valley Mall. Use code WAWP at checkout for a special surprise. And remember, if you can't stand the heat, get your ass out of the oven.
The kitchen. It's the kitchen.
It's not, Micah, because it's a pizza.
Make it full screen, man. Every time somebody comes on, it's like sponsors.
Pizza on the table, hot and right. Ready for a
mine, bro.
Be a fight. Pepperoni versus veggie, who's gonna win? Fix it up and let's begin. Cheese so stretchy, pulling really tight. Mushrooms, olives, every little bite. Crispy crust or deep dish delight. Everyone's got a favorite tonight. What's your favorite kind? Let's yell it out loud. Pizza fight, oh yeah, we're proud. Stuffed or thin or extra soft. This is our pizza box. Pineapple on top or keep it clean. Anchovies or sausage like a dream. Hold it, fold it, eat it up quick. Everyone's got